Good morning. This is KTLA, Los Angeles, California. KTLA operates on Channel 5 with an assigned frequency of 76 to 82 megahertz and a radiated power of 50,000 watts. KTLA's transmitter is located on Mount Alta, the highest point on Mount Wilson. KTLA is owned and operated by KTLA Incorporated, with studios and offices at 5800 Sunset Boulevard, Los Angeles, California.
Y'all ain't ready. That's how you get into it. Here's something going victory. That's how you get into it. That's how you get with SCW now.
This is the KTLA Morning News, First Edition.
Firefighters are hoping to contain what's left of the Malibu fire today, but the investigation into what caused the destructive blaze continues. We'll have the latest in a live report.
And it could be a pivotal day for striking TV and film writers as both sides head back to the bargaining table.
And we're going back in time this morning. Stay tuned for stories from the past as KTLA continues its Retro News Marathon. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to a special edition of the KTLA Morning News First Edition. It is Monday, November 26th. Hope you had a nice Thanksgiving weekend. I'm Cher Calvin.
And I'm Lou Parker. Good morning, everyone. Today, KTLA continues its Retro Marathon, marking the station's 60th anniversary with a look back at some of the biggest stories of the last 6 decades. So all morning long, we're going to bring you the sights and sounds of 60 years on the air, along with all your news that you need to start your day off. So let's go ahead and take a look at the weather this morning. A quick look at your weather outside. Beautiful shot of the Christmas tree. Those are popping up all over town now that Thanksgiving holiday is over. It's currently 51 degrees. You can expect a high of 74 degrees in LA and the coastal plain. Now it's 52 degrees in the valleys and inland. You can expect 77 degrees, mostly sunny with light winds today.
We'll also have Jessica Holmes in the helicopter in just a moment with your traffic update, so stay tuned for that. But first to the news. Improving weather is giving firefighters the upper hand in battling the Corral fire. And Rachel Calderon is live in Malibu with the very latest on this. Hi, Rachel. Good morning.
Good morning, ladies. We are here at Civic Center Way, just off the Pacific Coast Highway. This is where some 1,700 firefighters spent most of the weekend. Now, many of the engine trucks that I saw over the weekend are now gone. That's likely because containment levels are at 70% right now, and fire officials expect full containment by 6 o'clock tonight. Fire crews worked all day Sunday to finish a containment line. 53 homes are a total loss, and unfortunately, that number could rise after a complete survey is performed. Now, this area was visited by Governor Arnold Schwarzenegger on Sunday. He met with fire officials and talked about the resources used, but he also met with homeowners comforting those who lost everything. About 14,000 people were ordered to evacuate when the fire broke out on Saturday at 3:30 a.m. Many of them were allowed to go back yesterday to see if their house had survived. Now, investigators say the fire was started by human activity at an isolated area north of Corral Canyon. Now, neighbors had been complaining about this area because it is notorious for late-night parties and bonfires. Investigators know it started here, but don't know if it was started on purpose.
Looking for any kind of evidence could give them an idea of, what occurred, how it occurred, and possibly link that to individuals.
Now, the Pacific Coast Highway is back open in both directions this morning to traffic, and the Santa Monica Malibu Unified School District says it will hold classes as scheduled at 4 of its campuses here in Malibu. We're live in Malibu this morning. Rachel Calderon, back to you in Hollywood.
All right, Rachel, and here is the latest information on the fire. We want to tell you that about 4,700 acres have burned so far. 80 structures, including 53 homes and 27 outbuildings, were destroyed. Another 45 structures were damaged, including 34 homes in that. 14 vehicles were also lost in the blaze, and the fire at this point is 70% contained, with full containment expected later today.
We're also learning this morning the Malibu fire may have been set by a campfire. Firefighters say the blaze may have started at the end of a dirt road where the Corral fire began. They're looking into reports of people partying. Residents say on Saturday morning they awoke to a wall of flames creeping down the hillside. They also say they're concerned that campers will be unaware of the fire danger that exists in the canyons and the power of the strong Santa Ana winds.
There's no business having overnight camping in Corral Canyon.
The Santa Monica Mountains Conservancy is wanting to put more campgrounds in with permits to make fires in those campgrounds. I think that's irresponsible and it's unnecessary. We have plenty of camping in this area.
State park officials say rangers have increased patrols in campgrounds. They're also giving citations for parking after hours and also ticketed minors in possession of alcohol.
In other news this morning, negotiations between the Writers Guild of America and the Alliance of Motion Picture and Television Producers are scheduled to resume today, and it will be the first time the two sides have talked since the Guild launched a strike on November 5th. The dispute centers on pay for work that is distributed via the internet, iPods, cell phones, and other new media. And the strike has forced talk shows into reruns and halted production on most scripted TV series. And striking Broadway stagehands and theater producers have agreed to a 12-hour break in negotiations. A union spokesman announced the adjournment at about 3:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. And at least one media report says the stagehands are very close to a deal. The spokesman said give and take was happening on both sides of the bargaining table, and the dispute focuses on how many stagehands it takes to keep the shows running there. Stagehands want a number of workers required to put on shows, and producers want flexibility.
A candlelight vigil was held for a 20-year-old who was killed late Saturday in Stevenson Ranch. About 200 friends and family gathered to remember Joshua Paivo, who was stabbed to death while trying to break up a fight. A friend who was with Paivo was also stabbed and is in critical condition. Witnesses say the suspect got out of his car and stabbed him, and then later did the same to his friend. Anyone with information about this crime is, of course, asked to call LA County Sheriff's Office.
A major Mideast peace conference begins today in Washington with the Israeli and Palestine conflict at center stage. Sabrina Fang is live in Washington with more. Good morning to you, Sabrina.
Good morning, Cher. Ahead of tomorrow's major summit today, President Bush is meeting separately with Israeli and Palestinian leaders here at the White House. The president says he is committed to turning dreams of Mideast peace into reality.
The peace gathering will take place in picturesque Annapolis, Maryland, less than an hour outside of D.C. Hosting the summit, President Bush looks to make Mideast peace a major priority for the rest of his term. Both sides of the Israeli-Palestinian conflict will be at the table, as well as 16 Arab nations, including Syria and Saudi Arabia.
The Arabs who do not have diplomatic relations with Israel are all coming to join. They're coming to be part of the process, not to stand on the outside.
The White House is calling the summit a launching point for future negotiations. The U.S. is still hoping for a two-state solution. The last large-scale Israeli-Palestinian talks collapsed in 2001, but negotiators hope this conference is the first step to lasting peace.
Well, I believe what people don't know is that for the last 4 months, Prime Minister Olmert and President Abbas sat together. They formed the negotiating team, and I really believe we don't need to reinvent the wheel.
The summit is only expected to sketch vague bargaining terms. The big questions of Palestinian statehood, such as borders, sovereignty over disputed Jerusalem, and the fate of Palestinian refugees, will come later.
And the Iran factor could also help negotiations. Israel and many Sunni Arab nations see a common threat in the rising power of Shiite Iran. Live at the White House, Sabrina Fang, now back to you in Los Angeles.
Sabrina, thank you. Also this morning, Pakistan's former prime minister was greeted by thousands of supporters upon returning to his home country. Nawaz Sharif arrived yesterday to register for the upcoming parliamentary elections. He plans to challenge current President Pervez Musharraf, who has kept the government under emergency rule since November 3rd. Sharif was exiled back in 1999, and his return is the latest challenge to the current government. The United States still supports the current government, but is urging leaders to end emergency rule.
Thanksgiving travelers returned home on Sunday, but the long delays that many feared just didn't happen. And this is live from our LAX cam, where there were no delays reported by officials. Some good news there. And according to AAA, almost 39 million Americans were traveling at least 50 miles from home this past holiday. But in New York, passengers at JFK and Newark had delays of only about 15 minutes, while LaGuardia flyers were held up about 40 minutes. Both Chicago O'Hare and Midway airports experienced few delays, and officials said that mild weather gave Chicago travelers a big break this year. But not every airport was so lucky. Flights into Atlanta were delayed more than 2 hours due to some low visibility.
All right, time to check in with Jessica Holmes this morning for weather and traffic. Good morning, Jessica.
Good morning to both of you. We're up in the air this morning. We're actually flying over to Malibu, and it's dark right now, so we had to turn the inside lights off so we can fly over the canyons, but we're giving you our live shot outside right now. Let me go ahead and get into our traffic first, and we'll tell you what's going on with our weather for this week. And yeah, we'll go ahead and get started with that. 5 northbound at Templin is our first one. We have a car fire reported there. Everything is off to the right shoulder. Speed seemed to be doing pretty good there for the 5. You know, that's where there was some construction, road construction going on over the holiday weekend. So could expect some delays once again through today. Also 57 southbound at the 60, a 2-car smash up there. Checking that out. Over to the right shoulder as well, so no lanes are blocked, and the 57 and the 60 look pretty fantastic this morning. No problems there. And as far as our weather goes, of course, we had the red flag warning over the weekend, and we all knew about that. The winds have died down, and that's no longer the case. There's a shot of downtown this morning, by the way. Temperature 51 degrees for downtown LA. Humidity 52%. Barometer 30.08 and falling. And the winds are calm at 0 this morning. And moving along to the satellite, we'll show you what's happening. Basically, we've got the morning clouds once again. It was a little bit cloudy yesterday, too. We had some sunshine brief in the morning, and then by afternoon, things got cloudy. We're going to have some patchy fog near the coast. And then by the time we get into this afternoon, we're looking at mostly clear skies. But Tuesday, looking like we're going to have a bit of an eddy circulation, generating the clouds and fog again. But it's Tuesday night when that upper level trough there is going to dig right through the Great Basin. And that means on Wednesday, we could possibly expect a gusty offshore winds again, pushing things to advisory level, maybe 50-mile-per-hour winds through the canyons and passes. So that's something we're going to have to keep our eyes on. Highs for today going to be 79 degrees for Woodland Hills. Temperatures pretty much how they were last week. 76 El Monte, Burbank 76, Long Beach around 73 degrees today, 70 for Oxnard. Taking it down south, we'll look at a few more. 72 for Ontario, Riverside, and Hemet. 72, a lot of 72s, Temecula, El Cajon, 67 for San Clemente, the high today on this Monday. Here's our 5-day outlook for Los Angeles, 74 degrees today. We're going to clear out by this afternoon, 72 tomorrow. Breezy on Wednesday, that's when we're expecting the wind advisory, possibly 75. And looks like we cool down a bit Thursday into Friday as the trough fully comes through the area. 5-day outlook, coast to OC, 68 today, 67 tomorrow, partly cloudy skies for the coast, 70 on Wednesday. Look at that, Friday, a slight chance. Keeping our eye on it. Slight chance of seeing some showers possibly on Friday. Once again, our live shot heading over to Malibu. Back to you guys in the studio.
All right, Jessica, thank you. 5:10 right now, and still ahead this morning, we are taking a trip down memory lane.
Up next, to look at some stories that shaped Los Angeles, including the Rodney King case and the riots that followed. First Edition returns right after this.
Bloomberg's Business Report is brought to you by My M&Ms.
Till now, one single letter has always been on America's favorite chocolate candies. But now, go to this website and you can create M&Ms that express so much more. So not only can you say, Happy 30th, Joe, you can send him a season's greeting. Even celebrate a festive holiday bash. But while there are millions of things you can say, the response is always the same. And order online at mymms.com/winter too and receive a free gift box. My M&Ms. What would yours say?
Give your home the gift of new carpet this holiday season and save 50%. Call Empire today during our Home for the Holidays sale. We'll bring samples right to your home, where it's easy to match colors and styles to your decor. And we'll install your new carpet next day. You'll save 50%, plus make no payments till 2009. You'll even get a free turkey. So call Empire today. Give your home the gift of new carpet and save 50% now.
800-588-2300 Empire. Today, I finally got the HD set of my dreams. But satellite charges over $100 a year for HD channels. And I may need to get another dish or receiver. So, now what?
Make it simple. Call Time Warner Cable, the home of free HD, at 800-800-CABLE. Switch to digital cable today, and you can get your local HD channels and lots of other popular HD channels and shows for free. Right now, get digital cable for as low as $29.95 when you order the All the Best package, which includes Roadrunner High-Speed Online and Home Phone for just $29.95 each. All delivered on our advanced fiber optic network. Call 800-800-CABLE today. And if you call right now, you can get both HBO and Showtime for just $15 more a month for 6 months, including HBO HD and Showtime HD. Get digital cable for $29.95 from the home of free HD. Time Warner Cable. Call 800-800-CABLE right now.
This is KTLA TV5 from Los Angeles, a television service for Santa Monica and all of Southern California. Live, Golden West Broadcasters present the sights and sounds of the Southland. Transmitting with live television units, the exclusive helicopter and telemobile. KTLA camera crews rush to you each night the news of this day on News Picture 5:30. Now from KTLA News Control, here is Stan Chambers.
Isn't that nice to see?
I love seeing it.
All that history.
And the
here.
helicopter.
Absolutely. And Stan Chambers, too. And, of course, all weekend, KTLA went retro to celebrate 60 years of great programming. And now we're going to take a look at noteworthy news events. In 1949, 3-year-old Kathy Fiscus fell into a well, and KTLA covered the rescue effort for more than 27 hours. Stan Chambers was there and recalls how the event galvanized the city.
It really brought the city together. Los Angeles was a big city, but on this one weekend it became a small town city. Neighbors would visit neighbors that they didn't know very well. They'd sit in front of the set, they'd have dinner there, they'd go to sleep on the floor. Really right up to the end, well, till an hour or two before the end, we really thought that she was going to be saved.
Well, Kathy Fiscus did die, but she made an impact on the entire city. Through our coverage, Angelenos felt a kinship and later mourned a girl they never knew.
And Rachel, tensions of the 1960s exploded in LA when a highway patrolman tried to arrest a black man for DUI. The situation quickly escalated into the Watts riots.
Fry's mother arrived on the scene from her nearby home, berated the patrolman and her son. A crowd gathered. The officer called for help. Rocks were thrown at arriving police vehicles. Officers tried to hold back the crowd, and the riot was on.
Fires erupted around the Watts area, and looters raided stores of all kinds of goods. And despite the rollout of National Guardsmen, the riots lasted several days and caused $100 million in damage.
Decades later, LA would explode into violence again following the infamous Rodney King beating, and the incident was recorded on home video by a man in an apartment right across the street from where King was pulled over after a chase.
He was lying face down, spread out, and when he was in that position, then they started hitting him. At that point, he got up and tried to get away, and that's when I got out with the camera and I started filming.
4 officers involved in the beating were eventually acquitted of excessive force charges, and that decision triggered 3 days of rioting around Los Angeles. Willa Sandmeyer takes a look at that, as well as changes within the LAPD.
The tension in the city was palpable following the verdicts. Within hours, violence erupted in LA. At some intersections, angry mobs pulled innocent motorists from their cars. Elsewhere, arson-caused fires began to burn. Our Stan Chambers was in the KTLA telecopter.
2 car fires just broke out here at the corner of Normandy and Florence, right in the parking area of that liquor store.
The lawlessness would continue over the next 3 days. More than 3,000 fires were reported. In some cases, firefighters were targeted with gunfire. Looting also occurred, with mobs breaking down security gates and smashing store windows to get to merchandise. These images were broadcast to a shocked nation, an angry reaction to a verdict, morphing into chaos, and those willing to take advantage of this breakdown in law and order, carrying away armloads of stolen property. The family of one store owner reduced to tears by their loss.
We help the community. That's my dad.
What's wrong? There's nothing you can do about it.
On the 3rd day of rioting, a shaken Rodney King urged calm.
I just want to say, can we all get along? Can we get along?
Governor Pete Wilson activated 2,000 members of the National Guard to help restore order. The Marines were called in as well. And the following day, an unexpected action. Citizens armed with brooms and shovels showed up in riot-damaged neighborhoods, working together not only to help clean up after the lawlessness of others, but to also get on with the process of rebuilding. Why did the LA riots happen? The jury verdict was the trigger for an African-American community that believed it already had suffered excessive violence and racial profiling by the city's police force. Another factor that would later be cited, the failure of the LAPD to respond quickly and decisively. An independent review of the LAPD has led to changes, including tracking excessive force complaints and the hiring of a force that more closely represents the diverse community it serves.
The membership of the department reflects almost to the percentage point the demographic makeup of the city, which is a significant change from the 1970s when the department was about 90% white in a very large non-minority city at that time.
Those changes have helped improve the relationship between LA's minority communities and the police department, says former Urban League President John Mack. He served on the LA's Police Commission for the past 2 years.
Frankly, I attribute a great deal of that to the leadership of Chief Bratton. I think he represents a breath of fresh air in terms of his vision and outlook.
Progress has been made, says Mack, but it's also an ongoing process.
Support the organization, recognize it when progress is being made, but also, by the same token, keep the LAPD's feet to the fire and the police commission's feet to the fire when things go wrong and make sure that we correct them.
In Los Angeles, Willa Sandmeyer, KTLA News.
Time now is 5:19 and still ahead this morning. Oil prices surged toward $100.
Plus, how did businesses fare this Black Friday? Frank Motek has your money and consumer news. That's next. And let's check in with Jessica Holmes now on the KTLA Telecopter. Good morning.
Hi, guys. Good morning. As far as our traffic goes, things aren't looking too bad. 57 southbound to 60, we had a 2-car accident there. That's over to the right shoulder. And then our weather, of course, we had the winds over the weekend. The red flag warning not happening for today. Could get back up to some wind advisories by midweek. I'll tell you all about that coming up right after the break. Stay with me.
Tonight, Chris is not alone. But sometimes what you see
Nice shirt.
isn't what you get.
It's cool with you, but hey, Chico and the man. He's a jerk to everyone else. Solidarity, right?
I think I just joined a gang. Everybody Hates Chris, followed by Aliens in America. Tonight at 8 on KTLA, the CW. 11 mother-daughter teams compete and put the ultimate bond to the ultimate test.
Shut up, Mother.
Crowned. Series premiere Wednesday, December 12th on the CW.
It's the most magical time of the year. Experience advanced performance and technology at Acura's Drive Home for the Holidays sales opportunity.
Take advantage of attractive lease rates on the 2008 Acura TL for well-qualified customers.
We don't live in a perfect world, but you could help make it better. Train in criminal justice and you could have lots of opportunities. You could work as a parole officer, youth advocate, correctional treatment specialist, and more. Times like these call for people like you. So don't wait any longer. Find out how you can get started in criminal justice.
For a brochure, call 800-550-3081. That's 800-550-3081.
How many miles?
Oh, not very many. I don't get out much anymore. Just to church on Sunday.
You poor thing.
Wait. He is trying to trick you. Not all used cars are what they seem. Next time, shop at CarMax. Every car gets a 125-point inspection and comes with a free history report.
Ah! I'd have got away with it if it hadn't been for...
If it weren't for CarMax.
XM, 170 channels to find what turns you on.
Good morning, Jessica Holmes here live in the KTLA Telecopter. Happy Monday. Holidays are over. Well, Thanksgiving holiday. We have many more to come. But let me take you back outside. Everybody hitting the roads this morning as I head back to work, back to school. 101 already on the busy side this morning. We're heading eastbound up towards Studio City, just up ahead. Things are looking okay. It's moving along. Just more cars than we've seen over the last few days. We'll go ahead and get to our first maps, though. Show you what's happening for the 91 westbound at Gypsum Canyon. vehicle went into that side wall there. And some moderate speeds are showing up for your 91 as you head towards the 241 freeway. Also 73 southbound at Main Toll Plaza Road. A vehicle hit a deer, actually, and that's partially blocking the right lane there on the 73 southbound, but speeds aren't affected as of yet. Just keep your eyes open for that if you're heading down that way. All right, moving along to our weather. Let's check out some highs. Going to have beautiful temperatures the next couple of days again. 73 degrees for Palm Springs, Daggett at 64, Riverside 76. Most of us going to be in the mid-70s, a little bit cooler on the coast. 77 Ontario, Long Beach 74 degrees, Palmdale, Bakersfield 65, 67, Van Nuys going to be a warm spot, 77 degrees, LAX 71. Same for Oxnard. All right, checking out delays. Is the 106, is that Boston we're looking at there? Hello? Traffic department. 106, okay. New York, that's New York, okay. Well, we've got an 106-minute delay for New York City, and that's if you are flying into that airport today. But otherwise, except Atlanta, we're seeing 11 minutes. They're getting rain today. Finally, Atlanta, Georgia, and that portion of the southeast is seeing some rain, which they desperately need. Here's the traveler's forecast, too, as a lot of people head back. 55 degrees New York City with some showers. 60 in Atlanta with thunderstorms. 42 for Chicago. Miami, 84 degrees, going to be the high today. 70 the high in Phoenix. Las Vegas, 64 degrees. 62 and sunny in San Francisco, and 66 degrees San Diego. 5-day outlook for the San Fernando Valley. 79 degrees. Nice day today. Mostly clear skies. Starting off with a few clouds this morning, and then going to remain that way until we get towards the end of the week as this kind of cold front moves through. 5-day outlook for the coastal OC. 68 today, partly cloudy skies. 67 on Tuesday. Morning clouds Wednesday, Thursday, 70, and then 68 degrees. Right over the 101, 405. Cher, Lou, back to you in the studio.
At 5:24, we take a look at your money and consumer news.
Yep, and for that, we go to Frank Motek. He's in the newsroom. Good morning, Frank.
Good morning, Lou. Good morning, Cher. I hope you had a great holiday weekend. It looks like retailers heard more jingle bells than expected at the cash registers for the start of the holiday shopping season. One estimate says 8.3% more jingle bells. Now, today, the online holiday shopping season officially kicks off. Today is Cyber Monday, when many retailers offer consumers special sales. And you can check out cybermonday.com or KTLA.com to get a heads up on which retailers are offering some deals. Now, the Dow jumped 182 points on Friday. Stock futures now pointing to a higher stock market opening. Now, Boeing's arch rival Airbus has scored a big deal with the Chinese. Airbus says it has a deal to sell 160 commercial passenger jets to China in a deal worth around $14.8 billion. Now, that order includes 110 Airbus A320 jets and 50 of the slightly larger A330s. Airbus and Boeing both say they expect China to become the world's second largest aircraft market after the U.S., with Chinese airlines buying up to 2,600 jetliners over the next 20 years. Oil prices are rising again, moving closer to $100 a barrel overnight. We've seen oil move as high as $98.93 a barrel on news of falling temperatures in the U.S. and in Europe, along with a weak dollar. The dollar hit a new low against the euro on Friday, just shy of $1.50, and right now is around $1.48. At the moment, crude oil futures are up 8 cents to $98.26 a barrel. We're also keeping an eye on what's happening at Southern California gas pumps. It looks like prices held fairly steady over the holiday weekend and now started the week slightly lower, but don't celebrate just yet. I see self-serve regular now averages $3.39 according to the latest AAA Fuelgate survey, and that's a penny less than where we were when the holiday weekend began. Now 10 cents below the all-time high. Premium now averages $3.67, diesel averaging $3.70 a gallon. Lou and Cher, we're in retro mode today, and back 60 years ago, a barrel of oil was under $2 a barrel. That's when they used to celebrate with the song Roll Out the Barrel.
Yeah, no kidding.
Okay.
At $2.
Yeah, 'cause it was empty.
All right, thank you so much, Frank. Can you imagine that?
No.
Oh, wow, how times have
Thanks,
changed.
Frank.
Yeah, thank you. 5:26 right now. Still ahead this morning, how LA's mayor plans to ease traffic on one of the most congested intersections in the city.
Also, Rachel Calderon with the latest on the Malibu fire investigation. Good morning, Rachel.
Good morning, ladies. We are in Malibu this morning, where full containment is expected by 6 o'clock tonight. I will have the latest on what they're saying about what caused this fire.
And they were rescued from a sinking cruise ship off of Antarctica, and we're going to tell you how close these survivors are to coming home. Back in a moment.
KTLA 60-hour Retro Marathon is brought to you by your Southern California Honda dealers.
I'm Heidi. And I'm Paula, and we're sisters. At American Career College, the staff is really nice, and they take care of you, and they help you every step of the way, just like my sister. They have a grade A financial aid staff. Once I saw how successful Heidi was, it really inspired me to have a better life for myself. I'm proud of myself for taking the initiative and getting off my butt.
Call American Career College today at 1-800-958-3777.
Time Warner Cable introduces the All the Best package to Southern California. It's an exciting new way to save. Just call 800-CABLE-TV to take advantage of 3 great products at a great value. Call right now and get 100% digital cable, high-speed online, and home phone for just $29.95 each when ordered together. Get unlimited calling with our home phone service. Call anywhere for just $29.95 a month. With our digital cable, get all your local HD channels for free. Call now and you can get both HBO and Showtime for just $15 more a month. Enjoy films plus shows like Curb Your Enthusiasm and Dexter. Act now and get Roadrunner high-speed online for just $29.95. It's 7 times faster than DSL 768K. Get the All the Best package, digital cable, Roadrunner high-speed online, and home phone for just $29.95 each when you get all 3. Call 800-CABLE-TV now.
This Thanksgiving season, everything changes. The Chevy Red Tag event is blowing into town. Now get 0% financing for 60 months for well-qualified buyers on every 07 Chevy pickup, while supplies last. 0% financing on pickups like Silverado Crew Cab, which comes with the safety and security of OnStar standard for 1 year. That's $5,805 in average finance savings for all 07 Silverado pickups.
One gift
Where's the sculpture?
keeps on giving.
I passed it on to Mike. I passed it on to Monica. I'm giving this piece of crap back.
Girlfriends, tonight at 9 on KTLA. When you get in your car, rely on the KTLA Traffic Companion by Traffic Gauge for real-time bird's-eye view of traffic conditions for less than $50. Go to KTLA.com/traffic for your KTLA discount. This is the KTLA Morning News, First Edition.
It destroyed more than 50 homes over the weekend, and now firefighters are hoping to have the Corral Canyon blaze surrounded by today. However, they are still trying to determine how the fire started. Good morning, everybody. I'm Cher Calvin.
Good morning. I'm Lou Parker. Let's check in with Jess Combs in the KTLA helicopter with the forecast. Hi, Jess.
Hi, guys. Good Monday morning. Well, good thing about those winds that we had over the weekend, they had died down yesterday. And once again, we're not dealing with the winds, not until maybe Wednesday. It looks like we're going to have a trough kind of come on down and stir up a wind advisory possibly again for Wednesday for the mountains and below the passes and canyons. But for today, temperatures are going to actually be pretty nice, starting off with some fog and clouds near the coast especially, and that should burn away, and we'll have sunny skies this afternoon. LA and coastal plain right now, 51 degrees, high of about 74. Partly cloudy this morning, like I said, and then mostly clear this afternoon. Valleys and inland, 52 degrees currently, 77 is going to be the high, with some light winds this afternoon. I want to tell you 10 westbound at Monte Vista, we have a 2-car accident there. The number 1 lane is blocked, but speeds seem to be doing pretty good this morning. And then our live shot of the 5 freeway, we can just show you that. Busy once again on this Monday. The roads back at them. Everybody's back in town. And that's the 5 as you're heading towards the 134 freeway. Sharon, Lou, I'll send it back to you in the studio.
Jessica, thank you. 5:31 right now, and first in the news at this hour, firefighters are gaining the upper hand on the Corral fire thanks to cooler temperatures. Rachel Calderon live in Malibu with the very latest. Good morning to you, Rachel.
Good morning, Cher. We are here at the command post for police and fire. We don't see as many engines as we did over the weekend, and that's pretty good news because at this morning, containment levels are at 70%. Now, here's a look at more statistics on the Corral Canyon fire. More than 4,700 acres have burned. 80 structures are destroyed, which includes 53 homes. 45 structures are damaged. 14 vehicles were destroyed. Again, fire officials say this fire is 70% contained, and full containment is expected by 6 o'clock tonight. Now, yesterday, Governor Schwarzenegger visited this area and met with fire officials to discuss the resources used to fight the fire. He also met with homeowners who lost everything, a very difficult day for those people who spent the day going through what's left. Now, this morning, fire officials know this fire was caused by human activity in an area north of Corral Canyon. Neighbors say it's an area notorious for late-night parties, including bonfires, but at this time, they don't know if this fire was started on purpose or if it was accidental. Back out here in Malibu, the Pacific Coast Highway is back open this morning to traffic in both directions. We're live in Malibu. Back to you.
Rachel, thank you so much. It's now 5:32. The last passengers from a Norwegian cruise ship that hit an iceberg have now arrived on dry land. They were airlifted to an airport in Chile yesterday. 154 people were on board the MS Explorer when it slammed into an iceberg on Friday. All of the passengers and crew spent hours drifting in life rafts on Chile seas. Rescuers say calm waters and light winds helped in that rescue effort. It took 1 hour to collect the passengers and the crew.
Two powerful earthquakes rocked eastern Indonesia, killing at least 3 people. A magnitude 6.4 quake struck late Sunday night. Several hours later, a major aftershock hit the region. Dozens of homes and structures collapsed, and at least 45 people are injured. Several more aftershocks hit the country, and false rumors of an approaching tsunami caused panic in the region. Witnesses say areas have lost power, including one hospital that had to be evacuated.
A new study says more than 4 times the number of natural disasters are taking place around the world now than 20 years ago. Researchers in England say back in the 1980s there were 120 a year, but now the current figure is 500 disasters per year. The study blames global warming and extreme weather events. The number of people affected by extreme natural disasters has also surged 70% in the last 2 decades.
Texas authorities have arrested 2 people in connection with a missing child known as Baby Grace. Officials say they have tentatively identified the girl as Riley Ann Sawyers. They will not make a positive identification until DNA test results are confirmed. Now, the couple arrested includes a woman who may be the child's mother, 19-year-old Kimberly Trenner, and her boyfriend. They have been charged with injury to a child and tampering with evidence.
The chief suspect in the Natalie Holloway case arrived in Aruba to face charges. Jordan Vandersloot was flown in from the Netherlands to appear before a judge Monday morning. Vandersloot and his 2 brothers are all being held in separate jails on the Caribbean island. They were the last people to see Holloway before her disappearance. That happened back in May of 2005. Officials investigating the case are working under the assumption that Natalie Holloway is no longer alive.
And we have breaking news out of Washington. Senator Trent Lott is reportedly going to resign by the end of the year, and the word comes from congressional and White House officials this morning. Now, there is no official reason for Lott's resignation given for now, as of now, and sources are saying that the senator's health is not one of the reasons. They also say that Lott has other opportunities that he plans to pursue. Back here at home, Los Angeles Mayor Antonio Villaraigosa is expected to announce a plan today that aides say would significantly reduce travel times on Pico and Olympic Boulevards. And first, parking would be eliminated on both boulevards during rush hour. Then, beginning next year, traffic lights would be retimed so that those traveling west on Olympic Boulevard and east on Pico would have longer green lights. Now, if those 2 steps speed up traffic, the mayor's aides say the city might restripe both boulevards so that most lanes on Pico would be eastbound for motorists, while westbound lanes would predominate on Olympic Boulevard.
Time to check in with Jessica Holmes again in the KTLA Telecopter with weather and traffic. Hi, Jessica.
Hi, guys. Good morning. I think I'm liking the sound of that plan there. It's really tough to get from the west side anywhere, any time of the day, pretty much. Good morning, and here's downtown for you. We'll just take it, show you that. Beautiful, dark still, and I'm clicking and nothing's happening. Huh. There you go. There it is this morning. Traffic in and around downtown, like right now we're over the East LA interchange. Looking okay, back to its normal self. We've got a couple of maps to get to as well this morning because there's a new accident on the 405 southbound at Avalon. That's blocking the carpool lane. Speeds are doing just fine for the 405 so far this morning. And then the 10 west at Monte Vista, 2-car smash up there. Number 1 lane is blocked and just a touch of slowing. Looks like that one side, actually the westbound side of Monte Vista. And here we go with our weather. Going to be pretty much like we had last week, where temperatures were mild, and that's going to be the case once again. We're going to have the patchy fog near the coast, some morning clouds, clear skies into the afternoon. Like yesterday, we had some clouds in the morning hours as well. And then what's going to happen Tuesday night is we're going to get that upper level trough that's going to dig right through the Great Basin, and that's going to stir up those offshore winds again. So Wednesday, it looks like we could go into possible advisory levels as far as the wind goes, possibly up to 50 miles per hour for the mountains and below the passes and canyons. And then once that trough comes through even further, temperatures are going to be cooler for Thursday and Friday. Highs for today, 79 for Woodland Hills, Santa Monica 71, 76 for El Monte, and same deal for Burbank, 67 in Palmdale, Lancaster at 68. We'll take it down south, look at a few more temps, 72 in El Cajon today, 66 the high in San Diego, Irvine 72, Ontario 72, and Wrightwood, a chilly day, only 53 for the high. All right, right now for downtown LA, 51 degrees currently, San Diego at 56. Palm Springs this morning waking up to 53 degrees, and Ontario 52. We're getting very close to the 40s overnight, only 51 right now, and we probably got there maybe around 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. 5-day outlook for LA, 74 degrees, clear skies this afternoon, 72 on Tuesday, breezy on Wednesday, 75, and then that cool down Thursday, Friday, 69 degrees. 5-day outlook for the Inland Empire, 72 degrees, partly cloudy skies. Warming up a tad tomorrow, 74, and then breezy later into the afternoon, 71, where the gusts could get up to 45 miles per hour on Wednesday, and then 69 on Friday with a chance of possible rain. So we're going to have to wait and see about that, but we're crossing our fingers. We need the rain, and there's a live shot of downtown with that pretty lit up Christmas tree on the top of the building. Sharon Liu, back to you in the studio.
Sure is pretty. All right, thank you so much, Jessica. Time now, 5:38, and still ahead this morning. Highlights from the sports desk.
Coming up, we continue our Retro News Marathon with a look at how Gene Autry made the station the home of the Angels. Thanks for spending your Monday morning with us. We'll be right back.
Easy Life wants to save you big, very big, during our giant Thanksgiving celebration. This Samson dual reclining sofa and love seat with sleeper is just $9.99. This Stillwater Lodge 5-piece dining room package and 2 free armchairs, just $9.99. Easy Life Furniture has beautiful room packages, a low price guarantee, immediate delivery, and free no-interest financing until January 2010. You'll have money left over for the holidays during Easy Life Furniture's giant Thanksgiving celebration, now extended.
With all the shopping that comes with the holidays, who has time to shop for new floors? You do. It's Empire's hassle-free holiday sale. Right now, you can save 50% on hardwood, laminate, and ceramic tile flooring. We'll bring a great selection to choose from and install next day. You'll save 50% with no payments till 2009. Even get a free turkey. Get new floors in no time with no hassles. Call now.
800-588-2300 Empire.
Today.
Save up to 80% buying Factory Direct. The Jewelry Exchange imports diamonds direct and has the lowest margins of any major jeweler. Quarter-carat journey pendants are $89. 1/3 carat studs are $99. 3-stone bracelets are $159. 2-carat $399. 2-carat studs and 2-carat 3-stone rings in 18-carat are $19.90. The Jewelry Exchange has thousands of rings, pendants, bracelets, and earrings guaranteed to appraise for double, plus no interest for 6 months. Buy Factory Direct and save. The Jewelry Exchange in Tustin.
Good morning and welcome to the KTLA Surf Report. I'm Jamie Chambers, bringing you the latest local swell tracking for Monday. The surf is going to be 3 to 5 foot in well-exposed northwest-facing beaches. This swell is fading out, so get out there while you can. Water temperatures have dipped just a little bit, now resting between 57 and 60 degrees. The high tide for Monday is a 7.1 at 9:21 in the morning, and the low tide is a negative 1.4 at 4:53. Have a great surf session. Now here's your wave of the day.
All right, time for some sports stuff this morning. After 2 straight losses, the Lakers were hoping to surf the Nets for a win at Staples Center. Too bad, though, New Jersey, they hit the delete button.
You better go there. On kid, Sasha free. He wants the lead. He's got the lead.
Sasha Vujacic 3 with 1:28 left puts the Lakers up by 2. Then after Kobe misses a tying free throw with 6 seconds left, Vladimir Radmanovic comes up short at the buzzer, and so do the Lakers. The score there, 102-100. And by the way, the Clippers return to the court tonight to host Yao Ming, and the Rockets, game time there, 7:30.
Shots not falling now for the Salukis. Johnson on the alley-oop, and there's Davon Jefferson.
In the final of the inaugural Anaheim Classic, USC's Davon Jefferson slams home 2 of his game-high 18 points. Fellow freshman and tournament MVP O.J. Mayo pumps in 13. The Trojans get their 5th straight win, crushing number 19 Southern Illinois. The score there, 70-45. Well, last season they had the 2 best records in the AFC, but this year neither team was over 500 as the Chargers hosted the Ravens.
Throw in the end zone, wide open Chambers for a touchdown.
The Bolts strike for 22 points in the second quarter. Phillip Rivers hits Chris Chambers with 1 of his 3 TD passes. In the third quarter, LaDainian Tomlinson breaks loose for 36 yards to become the 23rd player in NFL history to rush for 10,000 yards. Congratulations to him. The Chargers cruise 32-14. And at Kansas City, the Raiders end their 17-game losing streak in the division, beating the Chiefs 20-17. And despite getting a scare from the Eagles, the Patriots improved to 11-0 with a 31-28 win. And now to college football in the latest BCS standings. Missouri has claimed the top spot, followed by West Virginia, Ohio State, Georgia, and Kansas. And USC moves up 3 spots to number 8.
McDonald knocks it out of midair from Kunitz and leaves it for Huskins, who joins the rush, and he hit the post. McDonald, Bertuzzi, Rob, rebound, score!
A little hockey in the OC. Chris Kunitz goal with just over 3 minutes left gives the Ducks a 3-2 win over the Kings.
But we are not done with sports just yet, and staying with our retro theme, our Damon Andrews reports that it was a cowboy who really got KTLA in the saddle with live local sports.
When the singing cowboy Gene Autry bought KTLA in 1965, that's when the station's interest in sports ratcheted up in a very big way. Angels, that was Mr. Autry's team. Dodgers, UCLA, Kings hockey. In my lifetime, the imprint of Channel 5 has always been felt in LA sports.
KTLA Sports presents the best in Major League Baseball. And now, with all the Angels action, here's Bob Starr and Joe Torre.
You could say KTLA had an inside track on broadcasting Angels baseball. We knew the owner pretty well. In fact, he signed the checks here.
I'm back in the saddle again, out where a friend is a friend.
It was during those early Angel years that the station lucked into a lottery ticket in the broadcast booth. In 1965, 4 years after he bought the team, Mr. Autry hired an English professor from Cal State Northridge named Dick Enberg. So Dick and KTLA go way back.
This is the briefcase that we carry with us on all the Angel road trips, and in it we have various sources of information.
Oh my, is that one hit? Bob Oliver will touch them all.
Of course, Dick Enberg was lucky too. He also got to describe a run in college basketball that almost surely will never be repeated. Dick did the Al Sindor, Walton, and John Wooden years when the Bruins won every NCAA title in sight. Why, as the sports face of the station, Dick was almost as synonymous with KTLA as Coach was with Bruin basketball. Years later, KTLA had the honor and pleasure of broadcasting both Angel and Dodger games. How fun to have been a fly on the wall when station execs got together with those SoCal rivals to put that TV schedule together.
Oh, that's ripped. That's got a chance to go. 3-run homer, Mike Piazza.
We were there September 17th, 1996, when the impossible happened in Colorado. Dodger pitcher Hideo Nomo threw a no-hitter in high-altitude Coors Field, where average hitters hit like Ted Williams, and pitchers usually go to watch their earned run average die. But not Nomo on that special night.
Got him! Hideo Nomo. He has not only shut out the Rockies, he has pitched a no-hitter.
KTLA was in Toronto on May 29, 1993, when the Kings beat the Maple Leafs in Game 7 of the Stanley Cup semifinals.
This is for Don Cherry. So there. I got my evens.
Thomas for 3 more. Bingo! Thomas. Bingo! Thomas for 3 in a row. Hat trick, bingo!
In these more modern times of TV replays from every angle, KTLA forged a relationship with the Clippers. It was on our watch that the long-suffering Clips captured our city's imagination in a magical run during the 2005-2006 season.
Loses the basketball. Ross will fire under. Bingo! Or is it a two-pointer for Quentin Ross to beat the buzzer?
Priceless archival footage, but it's fun to watch today as it was back in the day. Just to show you that there's always something going on in sports here at KTLA. Our next Clipper telecast is Friday night, November 30th, against the Denver Nuggets.
All right, Damon, thank you so much for that. Time now is 5:47 and still ahead this morning, the movie that put a spell on the box office this weekend.
Plus, a look at your money news with Frank Motek. Frank.
Good morning, Sherry. Retailers report a surprisingly strong start to the holiday shopping season, and today the focus is online sales. Stock futures pointing to a higher market opening. Right now, we say good Cyber Monday morning to Jessica Holmes in the KTLA HD Telecopter.
Good Cyber Monday morning to you too, Frank. And good morning, everybody else. You know, things are looking back to normal here on the freeways. 10 westbound at Monte Vista. We have a 2-car accident there blocking the number 1 lane. And I'll tell you all about your weather for this week. It's going to be pretty nice, but could get possibly some rain on Friday. We'll tell you all about that coming up right after the break.
Blair, I saw you with Chuck.
Wednesday, no one knows how to give thanks.
Tell me you didn't sleep with Chuck for revenge. Are you jealous?
Like the Upper East Side.
Nothing hurts more than sleeping with a best friend, right, S?
And you won't believe what they're serving up for dessert.
Dad, kids, wake up.
What are you guys doing? Way to prove a point. Well, I learned it from the master.
Gossip Girl, Wednesday at 9 on KTLA, the CW.
Yeah, our car died. I don't know. Something used, most likely. Yeah, like an SUV. Under $20,000. 1 or 2 years old. Plus low miles. Where do I find one like that? All right, I'll let you go.
I like the blue one.
CarMax, the way car buying should be.
You're sitting on the couch, you're watching TV, and your life is passing you by. You keep procrastinating over and over. Well, maybe I'll go to school next year, maybe next semester. No, do it right now. They'll work with you after work, or you can go before work. You can do whatever you need to do to graduate. Go talk to somebody right now. They out to help you. You spend all day on the phone anyhow. Why don't you make a phone call that's gonna help you in your future? All you gotta do is pick up the phone and make the call. Why are you making it complicated? It's easy.
This winter, stay away from the woods. Timber Falls goes for maximum drag. And the chills come thick and fast. Timber Falls. Rated R. Coming soon to theaters everywhere. Check local listing.
Let's see how the traffic is doing. Let's call in Larry Shear.
Stan, we're over the main interchange in downtown Los Angeles. We find all freeways heavily congested, primarily the Harbor Freeway inbound to the Civic Center, the Hollywood Freeway outbound from the Civic Center, Pasadena Freeway heavily congested outbound, and the San Bernardino Freeway also heavily congested outbound. The main point of congestion is the interchange transition road. That's the way it looks at now. Now back to News Control.
Thank you, Larry. We'll be having reports throughout the broadcast.
And that's a look at how traffic reports used to look on KTLA. It doesn't look like it's much different, right?
No.
It's still
I'm sure
traffic.
there are a lot less cars, though. Now time to look at weather and traffic, but we've got sweet Jessica to do that for us in the fancy telecopter.
I know, we were the first to have a telecopter. Good morning, guys. That was really cool. And I said, how cool would it have been if we were over the same interchange? Well, we're not. Close. That was downtown. This is 405 110, and we'll take you outside. And you're right, guys, not much has changed. Traffic still bad. And it was then, it is now, probably even worse, I'm sure. It looks like the 405 as you're heading northbound this morning is already getting pretty heavy. The 110 heading into downtown, northbound as well on the heavy side. So there you go, everybody back in town after the Thanksgiving Day holiday. Let's get to our maps too and show you the 10 westbound at Fraser this morning. We have a 2-car accident there. Number 3 lane is blocked. Speeds are on the tough side already for 10 westbound. And then 5 north at Ortega Highway. A tanker truck went over the side there and is overturned. So that could make things a little tricky there right at Ortega Highway. But so far, everything in the green All right, moving along, talking about our weather for this Monday. Going to be nice. Those winds died down. Thank goodness they died down when they did on Sunday. And we're going to have pretty much calm winds for the next couple of days. Not until Wednesday. Things might change. 5-day outlook for the San Fernando Valley. 79 degrees today. Gorgeous day. Pushing 80, 77 tomorrow. And then we cool down Thursday and Friday as a trough comes into the area. 5-day outlook for the coast OC, and it's gone. All right, Sharon Lou, back to you in the studio.
Let's take a look at your business news right now.
Yep, let's check in with Frank Motek. He's got money and consumer updates. Good morning, Frank.
Yes, Lou. Good morning, Sherry. Consumers shopped till they dropped. It looks like Wall Street coming back to business in a good mood this morning. Stock futures pointing to a higher opening with retailers in focus. The Dow will kick off the week at 12,980 after a gain of 182 points on Friday. NASDAQ Composite kicking off at 2,596 after a gain of 35, and the S&P 500 closed up 24 points at 1,440. Now, stocks in Asia rebounded overnight, and the Tokyo Stock Exchange's Nikkei average gained 246 points. Shoppers opened their wallets and spent more than most analysts expected on Black Friday, the official start of the holiday shopping season. Now, this latest reading we're getting from the National Retail Research Group ShopperTrack says total sales rose 8.3% on the day after Turkey Day compared to the same day a year ago. ShopperTrack also found that total sales were about $10.3 billion on Friday alone. Today is the official kickoff of the online holiday shopping season. We'll have more on that coming up in our next report. Now, the holiday weekend began with lower consumer confidence and angst about the mortgage meltdown, the credit crunch, the lower dollar, and you name it. Now, today, Citigroup economists say they see uncertainty for next year, but no collapse. Lou and Cher, we're in retro mode today. Certainly 60 years ago, there was a lot of uncertainty, but no collapse as well. So things are looking a little bit brighter this morning.
Thank you so much, Frank.
All right, Frank, thank you. Coming up, it's what people were watching this Thanksgiving holiday. We're going to tell you which movie enchanted the box office.
And from the North Pole to Los Angeles, we'll show you how Santa Claus brought the holiday spirit to Hollywood over the weekend and hung out with a few celebrities. First edition, we'll be right back.
The perfect stocking stuffers. The Jewelry Exchange has Diamond Heart, Journey, Star, and Eternity pendants for $99. Quarter carat solitaires for $129 and 18-inch pearl necklaces for $39. By Factory Direct, the Jewelry Exchange in Tustin.
Give your home the gift of new carpet this holiday season and save 50%. Call Empire today during our Home for the Holidays sale. We'll bring samples right to your home, where it's easy to match colors and styles to your decor. And we'll install your new carpet next day. You'll save 50%, plus make no payments till 2009. You'll even get a free turkey. So call Empire today. Give your home the gift of new carpet and save 50% now.
800-588-2300 Empire.
Today, I finally got the HD set of my dreams. But satellite charges over $100 a year for HD channels. And I may need to get another dish or receiver. So, now what?
Make it simple. Call Time Warner Cable, the home of free HD, at 800-800-CABLE. Switch to digital cable today, and you can get your local HD channels and lots of other popular HD channels and shows for free. Right now, get digital cable for as low as $29.95 when you order the All the Best package, which includes Roadrunner High-Speed Online and Home Phone for just $29.95 each. All delivered on our advanced fiber optic network. Call 800-800-CABLE today. And if you call right now, you can get both HBO and Showtime for just $15 more a month for 6 months, including HBO HD and Showtime HD. Get digital cable for $29.95 from the home of free HD. Time Warner Cable. Call 800-800-CABLE right now.
This traffic report is brought to you by Diet Pepsi.
Little entertainment news for you this morning. Enchanted was the estimated box office winner this weekend. Enchanted brought in about $35.3 million over the 3-day weekend period and $50 million over the 5-day holiday weekend period that began on Wednesday. This Christmas was in second place, bringing in an estimated $18.6 million over the 3-day weekend. Beowulf was third, Hitman was fourth, and B-Movie came in fifth.
A crowd estimated by the police at 125,000 to 150,000 watched the Hollywood Santa Parade over the weekend. Bob Barker was the grand marshal for the parade, and he was joined on the parade route by Jamie Farr, Tony Plana, Dick Van Patten, Menudo, Fred Willard, Mayor Antonio Villaraigosa, and many others. And last March, the Hollywood Chamber of Commerce announced it would no longer hold the Hollywood Christmas Parade. The city of Los Angeles held the event this year and pledged to do so the same next year. And you can see the parade on Sunday, December 16th, right here on KTLA at noon.
All right, ahead on Early Edition, how the weather is helping firefighters tackle the Corral Canyon fire in Malibu this morning.
Also, investigators say human activity sparked the blaze, and some Malibu residents think it could have been a campfire. How the wildfire is reigniting a debate about campgrounds in the beach community.
And if you missed the sales of Black Friday, there is a chance to save cash today. We'll tell you all about the deals of Cyber Monday.
Plus, our retro news coverage continues with the sweetest smelling story that we cover. We're going to take a trip down memory lane along the parade route of the Tournament of Roses Parade. Early Edition begins right after this.
Come to Morongo Casino Resort and Spa with more than 2,000 slot machines, over 100 Vegas-style table games, and a world-class poker room. Morongo Casino Resort and Spa is undisputedly the best place to play and stay. Experience Morongo's 4-diamond customer service, 4-star accommodations, and world-class fine dining. We're just a moment from anywhere you are.
Morongo. It's the season to shop, and the Red Tags are coming back for the GMC Red Tag event. And right now, they're bringing the best values of the season. Look for the Red Tag and get 0% financing for 60 months on remaining 2007 GMC light-duty trucks and SUVs while supplies last. That's 0% financing for 5 full years on new 2007 GMC models for an average finance savings of $7,268 on the Yukon XL. The Red Tag event. See some red, save some green.
This school has saved my life. I want to go back because it's just fun.
I decided to call American Career College because I needed a set schedule so I could spend more time with my son.
Financially, I'm way better off. I have a lot more opportunity for advancement.
On my job, there's no one who knows more than I do.
I've been hiring American Career College graduates for 2.5 years.
American Career College is my family and my support.
I would definitely recommend American Career College. It can change your future.
Call American Career College today at 1-800-958-3777.
11 mother-daughter teams compete and put the ultimate bond to the ultimate test.
Shut up, Mother!
Crown, series premiere Wednesday, December 12th on the CW.
This is the KTLA Morning News, Early Edition.
Firefighters say they'll have the fire in Malibu contained today, and they're still looking for what sparked the blaze that has destroyed more than 50 homes.
And a push to end the TV and film writers' strike. We've got the latest on today's talks between writers and studio producers.
And we are celebrating 60 years of KTLA News this morning. Our Retro News Marathon continues this hour. Good morning, everyone. I'm Lou Parker. Welcome to a special edition of the KTLA Morning News Early Edition. Of course, it's Monday, November 26th.
And I'm Cher Calvin. Good morning, everybody. Today, KTLA continues its Retro Marathon, marking the station's 60th anniversary with a look back at some of the biggest stories of the last 6 decades. And all morning, we've been bringing you the sights and sounds of 60 years on the air, along with all of the news from today as well. And so now we turn to Mark Kriske and find out what the weather is like today.
Weather's going to be absolutely beautiful. What a weekend it was. Some cooler temperatures, and of course those winds started to pick up, which created a lot of problems down and through the Malibu area. But it looks like we're going to be even a little bit warmer today, still cool overnight. There's the shot, one of our shots from our downtown camera, I do believe. Traffic is beginning to pick up after, of course, the long weekend. Everybody back to work, everybody back to school. Expected high this afternoon, 74 downtown for the Valley's Inland Empire, 77 degrees. Cher, back to you.
All right, Mark, thank you. First in the news, the Corral fire is expected to be contained today, and Rachel Calderon is live in Malibu with the very latest on the containment there. Good morning to you, Rachel.
Good morning, Cher. We are here at Civic Center Way, just off the Pacific Coast Highway. This is where some 1,700 firefighters and other authorities have been over the weekend. Now you can see behind me, actually a car just pulled up, but behind me there is a a long line there for these crews to get breakfast this morning, either after they finish up their shift or before they start a new one. Now, the good news is that the fire is 70% contained this morning, as you mentioned. Full containment is expected by 6 o'clock tonight. Now, fire crews worked all day Sunday to finish a containment line. 53 homes are a total loss this morning. Unfortunately, that number could rise after a complete survey is performed. Now, this area was visited by Governor Arnold Schwarzenegger on Sunday. He met with fire officials, but he also met with homeowners, comforting those people who lost everything, a very tough situation for them. About 14,000 people were ordered to evacuate when the fire broke out on Saturday at 3:30 a.m. But I'm told this morning that all those residents are allowed to go back in and survey the damage. Now, investigators say the fire was started by human activity at an isolated area north of Coral Canyon. Neighbors have been complaining about this area because it is notorious for late-night parties and bonfires. Investigators know it started here, but don't know if it was an accident or on purpose.
We're looking for any kind of evidence could give them an idea of, what occurred, how it occurred, and possibly link that to individuals.
Now, this morning, the Pacific Coast Highway is back open to traffic in both directions, and school will be held at the 4 Malibu campuses of the Santa Monica Malibu School District. We're live in Malibu this morning. Rachel Calderon, back to you in Hollywood.
Rachel, thank you. Also this morning, negotiations between the Writers Guild of America and the Alliance of Motion Picture and Television Producers are scheduled to resume today. It will be the first time the two sides have talked since the Guild launched a strike back on November 5th. The dispute centers on pay for work that is distributed via the internet, iPods, cell phones, and other new media. The strike has forced talk shows into reruns and halted production on most scripted TV series. And in New York, striking Broadway stagehands and theater producers have agreed to a 12-hour break in negotiations. A union spokesman announced the adjournment earlier this morning. At least one media report said the stagehands were very close to a deal. The spokesman said give and take was happening on both sides of the bargaining table. The dispute focuses on how many stagehands it should take to start a Broadway show and to keep it running.
President Bush is holding a major Mideast peace summit in Washington. The president will meet with both Israeli and Palestinian leaders before the conference kicks off tomorrow. 16 Arab nations will attend the summit, including Syria and Saudi Arabia. Major topics of the conference include Palestinian statehood and disputed border territory. President Bush says he is committed to seeing both Israel and Palestine living side by side in peace.
Thanksgiving travelers are still returning home, and LAX passengers are experiencing some delays this morning. This is a live shot from our camera at LAX, where travelers heading to New York LaGuardia Airport are being held up almost 2 hours. Same for those going to Philadelphia, where a delay of about an hour is in effect. Both destinations report poor weather as the cause of the delays. Now, according to AAA, almost 39 million Americans traveled at least 50 miles from home this past holiday. And according to officials, most major airports around the country ran smoothly during the travel crunch. In New York, passengers at JFK and Newark had delays of about 15 minutes. Both Chicago O'Hare and Midway airports experienced few delays. Authorities say that mild weather gave Chicago travelers a break this year. But not every airport was so lucky. Flights into Atlanta were delayed more than 2 hours due to low visibility.
6:05 right now. Let's check in with Mark and the weather, how it's going to shape up on this Monday.
And the weather is looking absolutely beautiful. We are looking at mostly clear skies and even warmer temperatures for today and tomorrow. Here's what is going on. Lou was talking about it just a second ago about some of these airport delays. LaGuardia Airport, 106 minutes. That's what they are up to, close to 2 hours, and 38 minutes in through JFK Airport. And once again, that is because of some bad weather in the city of New York. So if you're traveling to the East Coast, it's going to take you a little bit of time. And they have some minor delays happening in Chicago also. They're getting some snow in the Windy City. Low to the north, to the north of us, low to the south of us, a couple of systems. This low is not really going to affect us, bringing in some cloud and some fog, but just further south, this low will start to make its turn, the jet stream carrying it to the east of Southern California and then moving across the nation. But otherwise, we are looking at mostly clear skies for today and tomorrow and over the next couple of days. Slightly warmer temperatures this afternoon, even compared to what we've had over the last couple of days. Here's the cold front. That will not affect us. But by Thursday, Thursday and Friday, there's another system and another trough which could move into the area, and that system could bring in some clouds and some fog and some even rain possibly by the end of the week. But starting out, back to school, back to work, post-Thanksgiving, waking up with that tryptophan hangover. 79 will be the high. Woodland Hills, beautiful. Burbank, 76. El Monte, 76. Pomona, 72. 72 in Anaheim. Newport Beach, 68. Catalina, Avalon with a high of 68 degrees. Further down south, down into Orange County, 72 in Irvine, San Clemente, 67, San Diego at 68. For the Inland Empire, everything in the low 70s. 74 degrees will be the high in Palm Springs. Up in the mountains, Big Bear and Wrightwood, 51 and 53 degrees. By the way, in Big Bear, Snow Summit opened over the weekend, and they will be open. They have been making snow with the cold temperatures, and the man-made snow, absolutely beautiful. So Snow Summit is open for boarding and skiing. 51 in downtown LA at the moment, 52 in San Diego, Palm Springs, the temperature's 50. In Ontario, we are stuck and holding at 50 degrees on this morning. Mostly clear skies. Beautiful day in LA, 74. A little bit of fog here and there. Tuesday, mostly clear. 72 degrees Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, 75, 73, and 69 degrees. Inland Empire, 72, 74, 71. And then, as I said, by the end of the week, Thursday, possibly into Friday and Saturday, we might even see some rain developing into the area. Jessica, the KTLA Telecom.
Hi, good morning. Flying over the 605 freeway. Take you outside, show you what your drive's going to look like if you're getting ready to jump on right around Pico Rivera area. Looking all right. I mean, back when we were over 605-5, things were pretty heavy over there, the 5 as you were heading into the downtown area. But otherwise, moving along pretty nicely this morning. Here's our maps for you. 5 south at Whittier. Accident reported there, number 3 lane. Doing okay in that stretch around the 5 and the 60. Also 605 southbound at Telegraph. 2-car smash up there, everything off to the right shoulder. Starting to see some slowing there actually for the 5, not so much for the 605. And then the 5 north at Ortega Highway, a tanker truck apparently went over the side of the road, overturned. Speeds aren't affected there at the 5 and the 74, but they could be because a tanker truck takes a while to get back uprighted and out of the way there. All right, guys, I'll send it back to you in the studio.
Jessica, thank you. Time now is 6:08, and our Retro News Marathon continues this morning with a historic visit to Los Angeles.
Coming up, the sights and sounds of Pope John Paul II's trip to the Southland. Early Edition continues right after this.
KTLA's 60-hour Retro Marathon is brought to you by Carl's Jr.
Stan, customer waiting. Stan, customer waiting on the line.
Portobello mushroom $6 burger, fries, and a Coke. Don't bother me. I'm eating. The Portobello Mushroom $6 burger. Back at Carl's Jr.
Feliz Navidad. Feliz Navidad.
Your official holiday music station, Coast 103.5.
Tribal governments have touched the lives of over 75% of the people of California, even those who never gamble. Marion has never been to a casino. But the Sam Manuel Band of Mission Indians touched her life by providing money to train a dog so she can be more self-reliant. When a fire partially destroyed a public school, Sam Manuel provided funding so that Aaron can have an opportunity to excel in science. Tribal self-reliance makes Californians self-reliant.
Happy Honda days are here again, which means your Honda dealer is offering great deals on every car in stock. This holiday season is the perfect time to get into a new Accord, popular Civic, fun-loving Fit, or any Honda you desire. Just choose your favorite color and think Honda for the holidays. Lease a Honda Accord for $259 a month for well-qualified customers.
Happy holiday. Happy holiday.
Your official holiday music station, Coast 103.5.
This is KTLA TV5 from Los Angeles, a television service for Santa Monica and all of Southern California. Live Golden West Broadcasters present the sights and sounds of the Southland. Transmitting with live television units, the exclusive helicopter and telemobile. KTLA camera crews rush to you each night the news of this day on News Picture 530. Now from KTLA News Control, here is Stan Chambers.
It never gets old.
It sure
It's
doesn't.
very cool.
Yeah.
All right, well, as part of KTLA's celebration of 60 years of broadcasting, we're taking a look at our coverage of historic events here in Los Angeles. One that changed the course of history was the assassination of Robert Kennedy.
Kennedy has been shot, along with one or two others. They're on the ground. The back room right now, they're calling for a doctor. There's one doctor back there. They need another doctor. His condition, I don't know. His wife, Ethel, is with him. That's all we can say now, but a couple of people have been shot, along with Robert Kennedy, now lying on the floor behind the embassy room here in the Ambassador Hotel.
Kennedy was shot moments after finishing a speech at the Ambassador Hotel. He was walking out through the kitchen when gunman Sirhan fired. Kennedy died a day later. 5 others who were shot did recover. Sirhan was convicted and imprisoned for the murder.
In the summer of 1987, Pope John Paul II visited Los Angeles, and KTLA provided 48 hours of live, continuous coverage of the event. And one of the most poignant moments came where a man with no arms played the guitar and sang for the Pope.
In him we will bring light into the dark.
Nice, very nice.
Tens of thousands of people lined streets and packed stadiums for a chance to see the Pope. The LAPD noted that crimes were down by 50% during the 2 days the Pope was in town.
On January 1st, KTLA will televise the Pasadena Tournament of Roses Parade for the 61st time. The parade and Stan Chambers, perennial favorites of our viewers, and with the help of Jamie Chambers, Stan takes a look back.
No stranger to me and really no stranger to all of Los Angeles. Veteran newsman Stan Chambers has been an essential part of KTLA News for over 5 decades. In January 2007, KTLA commemorated its 60th telecast of the Tournament of Roses Parade. And in December, Stan marks his 60th year on television. We celebrate this milestone with Stan's special reminiscence.
When people were watching it in black and white, what was it like for a viewer at home to finally see it in color for the first time?
Well, of course, when you were watching in black and white, you thought that's the way television would always be. There was no thought of it being colored, so you didn't miss anything. And then when all of a sudden color cameras and color transmission was there, it was a whole new world. You started again, and you would look at the colors as if you'd never seen them before. They were so bright and vivid and would stand out. And so the parade brought the change of color. And of course, then now it's every day, every program, all the time. But then that was special. New Year's Day, the colorful Rose Parade from Pasadena.
Stan Chambers, it's great being back here with an old friend like you.
So what was it like interviewing Tom Brokaw, Los Angeles newsman, interviewing another Los Angeles newsman?
That was really great because we both went back so far to the early days of news in Los Angeles, and we talked about that. And it's so different than today. Back then it was hometown, you know, and you had your job and you had small cameras. You didn't get out all over the world like we were trying to do with our live cameras. And he reminisced about his times in LA and how much he enjoyed it here. And he's a great guy. He really is a great guy, and I was so delighted to see that he was selected as a Grand Marshal.
Stan, it's always a pleasure to see you again. Okay, have a great day.
This is the way you should enjoy the parade. It is absolutely fantastic.
So you've ridden on floats, you've been a float judge, you've been covering the Rose Parade for decades. Do you have one parade in particular that you remember that you really loved?
Well, I think being the float judge really had to be a highlight because you started very early. It wasn't just like that one day, and you saw the floats coming along. And so we'd go out to the different tents where they were being built, and we'd talk to the volunteer workers who were on that. And then you began putting the different elements together on each float, and then you'd go to another place and you'd see another float highlighted. And so over several days, you looked at all the floats in the parade to make your decision. I think the human element is reproduced beautifully by the whole process of the Tournament of Roses parade. The volunteers, the city, the worldwide attention, the fact that it lasts one day and then it's over.
And that was Jamie Chambers reporting on his grandfather, Stan Chambers. Isn't that incredible?
Cool that he gets to do that, yeah.
Still, yeah, it really was. Thank you so much for that. Still ahead this morning, we're going to tell you why David Beckham is apologizing to some young soccer fans in Australia.
And the sales of the season are just beginning on the internet. Frank Motek has the details on the deals of Cyber Monday. We'll be right back.
Once upon a time, mothers and their daughters from across the land were invited to live together in a magnificent castle and be treated like royalty, there to be judged on which pair was the fairest in the land. That's when the hit the fan.
I am not going home first.
Wow.
Crown.
Series premiere December 12th on KTLA, the CW. KTLA's 60-hour retro marathon is brought to you by SoCalChevy.com.
This Thanksgiving season, everything changes. The Chevy Red Tag event is blowing into town. Now get 0% financing for 60 months for well-qualified buyers on every 07 Chevy pickup, while supplies last. 0% financing on pickups like Silverado Crew Cab, which comes with the safety and security of OnStar standard for 1 year. That's $5,805 in average finance savings for all 07 Silverado pickups.
Easy Life wants to save you big, very big, during our giant Thanksgiving celebration. This Samson dual reclining sofa and love seat with sleeper is just $9.99. This Stillwater Lodge 5-piece dining room package and 2 free armchairs, just $9.99. Easy Life Furniture has beautiful room packages, a low price guarantee, immediate delivery, and free no-interest financing until January 2010. You'll have money left over for the holidays during Easy Life Furniture's giant Thanksgiving celebration, now extended.
Diamond Solitaires, the gift of eternal love. The Jewelry Exchange has half-carat fancies for $3.99. 1 carat's from $5.99 to $15.90, and the guaranteed lowest price on GIA diamonds. Buy direct, the Jewelry Exchange in Tustin.
Breakfast savings now at Subway restaurants. For a limited time, try any new 6-inch omelet sandwich or new breakfast stuffer for only $1.99. Subway restaurants, now open at 7 a.m. Stop for breakfast, get lunch to go. Subway, eat fresh.
It's the most magical time of the year. Experience advanced performance and technology at Acura's Drive Home for the Holidays sales opportunity.
Take advantage of attractive lease rates on the 2008 Acura MDX for well-qualified customers.
Book your winter holiday ski trip on Alaska Airlines or Horizon Air. We'll get you to the Powder with service to Whistler, Sun Valley, and more. Book today at alaskaair.com.
It is time for a look at business news.
We turn to Frank Motek in the newsroom for money and consumer updates. Good morning, Frank.
Hi, Lou. Good morning. Share consumers let loose over the holiday weekend, spending more than most analysts expected. This is giving retailers reason to celebrate, and the mood is carrying over to Wall Street. We see stock futures pointing to a higher market opening. The Dow will kick off the week at 12,980 after a gain of 182 points on Friday. NASDAQ kicking off at 2,596, a gain of 35 points there. And the S&P 500 up 24 points, starting out at 1,440 this morning. Stocks in Asia rebounded overnight, and the Tokyo Stock Exchange's Nikkei average gained 246 points. While Friday was the official start of the holiday shopping season, today is Cyber Monday, the official start of the holiday shopping season online. Now, about 75% of online retailers will be offering special promotions, and that's up from 43% 2 years ago when the first Monday after Thanksgiving was declared Cyber Monday. This year, you might have already noticed in your inbox, many retailers have launched email campaigns with special deals for their customers. About a quarter of retailers will be offering free shipping on all purchases. It's also expected a lot of people returning to work today will spend some time shopping online. More information about which retailers are offering sales can be found at cybermonday.com and also KTLA.com. Meanwhile, pump prices are moving lower. Prices held fairly steady over the holiday weekend. Self-serve regular now averaging $3.39 in Los Angeles, according to the latest AAA fuel gauge survey. That's a penny less than where we were when the holiday weekend began. Lou and Cher, I saw you react when I said pump prices are moving lower, but I was referring to gas, not shoes. Right back to you.
All right. Thank you so much, Frank. Time now is 6:22, and a prank at a beauty pageant that you've got to hear to believe, and it involves pepper spray.
Plus, Galaxy star David Beckham makes a faux pas with some fans. We'll explain why he is apologizing to a group of children. Early Edition returns right after this.
KTLA 60-hour Retro Marathon is brought to you by your Southern California Honda dealers.
There's a new pet.
Chia.
Chia Pets, the pottery that grows. And now Chia Garfield. And Scooby-Dooby-Doo. He's a Chia pet too. Rocky? Yes, even Shaggy. It's fun. Soak your chia, spread the seeds, and watch it grow.
Chia.
And now there's a bonus gift in every original Chia Pet box. A mini Chia Cuddly or a Chia alarm clock.
Chia.
Chia Pets. Collect them all.
Available at Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, and Kmart.
Is over. The unconditional surrender was.
This is our country.
After 89 years in the making, this is our truck. The 2007 Motor Trend Truck of the Year. The all-new Chevy Silverado.
KTLA television, Los Angeles.
CarMax puts every used car we sell through a thorough 125-point inspection. Why? So we make sure you get a vehicle with brakes and tires you can rely on, electrical systems that function properly, and an engine, fuel system, and drivetrain you can count on. Why do we sweat the details? So you don't have to. And well, our name's on it. Start the search for your next used car at CarMax. CarMax, the way car buying should be.
Justin and Raja have one chance to be cool.
What is the junior prank?
He's in. Make that zero chance. Aliens in America.
Tonight at 8:30 on KTLA, the CW. When you get in your car, rely on the KTLA Traffic Companion by Traffic Gauge for real-time bird's-eye view of traffic conditions for less than $50. Go to KTLA.com/traffic for your KTLA discount.
All right, time for some sports stuff. After 2 straight losses, the Lakers were hoping to surf the Nets for a win at Staples Center. Too bad, New Jersey, they hit the delete button.
You better go there. On kid, Sasha Free. He wants the lead. He's got the lead.
Sasha Vujacic 3 with 1:28 left puts the Lakers up by 2. After Kobe misses a tying free throw with 6 seconds left, Vladimir Radmanovic comes up short at the buzzer, and so do the Lakers. The score, 102-100. And as for the Clippers, they return to the court tonight to host Yao Ming and the Rockets. Game time there, 7:30.
To the NFL, the Chargers hand the Ravens a franchise record 5th straight loss, and the Raiders beat the Chiefs 20-17. Also, the Patriots improved to 11-0 with a 31-28 win over the Eagles.
David Beckham's arrival in Australia got off to a rocky start with some young cancer-stricken fans. The Galaxy star was accused of ignoring child cancer survivors waiting to greet him as he arrived at his hotel in Sydney. One 14-year-old leukemia survivor was actually left in tears after not being able to give him a toy kangaroo as a welcome present. Beckham, who is known to be quite accommodating to fans, said he actually didn't see these children, but he would be willing to meet them anywhere at any time. The Galaxy will play an exhibition match tomorrow in Sydney.
And a practical joke or a beauty pageant sabotage. A contestant in a Puerto Rico beauty pageant had her evening gown and makeup laced with pepper spray. Ingrid Rivera was composed in front of the judges, but backstage she broke out in hives. And those at the event thought she was having an allergic reaction. But after testing her gown, they found the pepper spray. And even though she had to battle through adversity, Rivera won the crown and is the new Miss Puerto Rico. So,
good for her.
Good for her, yeah. Wow, it's right. Coming up, we're going to be live as firefighters return to the fire lines in Malibu.
And how the recent wildfires in Malibu are sparking new controversy over camping in that area. Plus, Gail Anderson continues our Retro News Marathon with more on the LA riots. Good morning, Gail.
KTLA's 60-hour Retro Marathon is brought to you by Carl's Jr.
The Nova Bar and Restaurant in San Francisco can make you one for $12.50. You can special order one at the Landmark Restaurant in New York for $21. And the Backyard Restaurant in LA can make you one for $18 if you call in advance. And now Carl's Jr. has one for about $5. The first Portobello Mushroom Burger at a fast food place. The Portobello Mushroom $6 burger with Angus beef, only at Carl's Jr.
It's that magical time of year. Come to the Mercedes-Benz Winter Event now through January 2nd and test drive the all-new 2008 C-Class starting at $31,975. There's never been a better time to get that Mercedes-Benz on your wish list.
Give your home the gift of new carpet this holiday season and save 50%. Call Empire today during our Home for the Holidays sale. We'll bring samples right to your home, where it's easy to match colors and styles to your decor. And we'll install your new carpet next day. You'll save 50%, plus make no payments till 2009. You'll even get a free turkey. So call Empire today. Give your home the gift of new carpet and save 50% now.
800-588-2300
Today.
Diamonds. The Jewelry Exchange imports diamonds direct from site holders. We have thousands, most GIA and EGL certified, laser inscribed, and guaranteed the lowest price. Half-carat fancies are $3.99. 1-carat solitaires are $5.99, $9.90, and $15.90. 2-carat solitaires $19.90, and certified ISI quality $2,900. We also have super large rounds and fancies, D Flawless, and GIA triple excellent makes. Plus, we set while you watch. Buy factory direct. The Jewelry Exchange in Tustin.
Have you ever led an expedition? Have you ever been honored by the Louvre? Have you ever protected nobility? Have you ever seen the curvature of the earth? Range Rover, designed for the extraordinary.
The traffic report is brought to you by Mountain Dew. This is the KTLA Morning News, Early Edition.
It destroyed more than 50 homes, but firefighters say they will have the Malibu wildfire under control by today, but they are still looking for clues and what actually started the fire. Good morning, everyone. It's 6:30. I'm Lou Parker.
And I'm Cher Calvin. Hope you guys had a nice long weekend. Let's get to Mark Krisky and your forecast.
And in the weather forecast, mostly clear skies this morning. We do have pockets of a little bit of fog and some cloud, but otherwise clear skies. Warmer temperatures also. Those numbers back up in the upper 70s for the valleys in the Inland Empire, lower mid-70s for the downtown area. Should be a beautiful day, partly cloudy in the morning, 74 to 77 degrees. Jessica Holmes in the KTLA Telecopter with traffic.
Good Monday Long Beach. Let me show you what's going on outside. We're over the 405. Sun just starting to come up. A little bit hazy. Got a few light clouds around. 405 northbound is on your left there, and it looks a little bit heavy, but then past the airport, which is right off to our left, not too bad. All right, let's go to the tape of the 5 southbound at Whittier. This accident here really jamming things up. I see one vehicle. It is blocking that number 4 lane, and things are really, you got the tow trucks, the fire truck, things are really slow as you head into the East LA interchange there as you're heading south on the 5. So that's the deal there. Guys, back to you in the studio.
Jessica, thank you. First in the news at 6:31. Cooler temperatures and increased humidity is giving firefighters the upper hand in battling the Corral fire. And Rachel Calderon is live in Malibu with the very latest on their efforts. Good morning to you, Rachel.
Good morning, Cher. I just got some information from the LA County Fire Department just a few moments ago. He told me that this fire is 90% contained right now. The acreage has increased to 4,900 acres, and 8 firefighters sustained minor injuries. That is the latest update that we got from the LA County Fire Department. Also, 1,200 personnel are still here on scene. That is down from 1,700 that we saw over the weekend. And there are 2 helicopters currently flying over the affected area to put out this fire. Now let's take a look at some video that was shot earlier over the weekend. Now what you're looking at here is a helitorch. It is called that because it drops flames on unburned areas to burn out brush that could pose a hazard if wind were to pick up again. Now, the LA County Fire Department says having so many crews on standby all last week really helped make a difference in fighting this fire. Now, here you can see Governor Arnold Schwarzenegger visited this area and met with fire officials. He also spent much of his time with people who lost everything, a very difficult situation for those folks who went to see what was left. Our fire investigators, are still trying to figure out how this fire started. They are focusing on an area north of Corral Canyon where neighbors complained it's an area notorious for late night parties and bonfires. Investigators know that the fire started there, but they're still trying to find out if it was set on purpose or on accident. Now back here live here in Malibu, we have been told that the Pacific Coast Highway is back open to traffic in both directions, and we are expected to get an update from the Public Information Officer of the LA County Fire Department. We'll have more on that later on this morning. We're live in Malibu. Rachel Calderon, back to you in Hollywood.
Rachel, thank you for that good news. Again, the Malibu fire 90% contained this morning, and it may have been actually set by a campfire. Firefighters say the blaze may have started at the end of a dirt road where the Corral fire began. They're looking into reports of people partying. Residents say on Saturday morning they awoke to a wall of flames creeping down the hillside. They went on to say that they are now concerned that campers will be unaware of the fire damage that exists in the canyons and the power of strong Santa Ana winds.
There's no business having overnight camping in Corral Canyon.
The Santa Monica Mountains Conservancy is wanting to put more campgrounds in with permits to make fires in those campgrounds. I think that's irresponsible and it's unnecessary. We have plenty of camping in this area.
State park officials say rangers have increased patrols in campgrounds. They're also giving citations for parking after hours and will also ticket minors in possession of alcohol.
Negotiations between the Writers Guild of America and the Alliance of Motion Picture and Television Producers are scheduled to resume today, and it will be the first time the two have met since the Guild launched a strike on November 5th. The dispute centers on pay for work that is distributed via the internet, video iPods, cell phones, and other new media, and the strike has forced talk shows into reruns and halted production on most scripted TV series.
President Bush is set to host a major Mideast Peace Summit. Sabrina Fang is live at the White House where the president is preparing for the event. Good morning, Sabrina.
Good morning, Lou. Ahead of that summit tomorrow, President Bush is meeting separately today with the Israeli and Palestinian leaders here at the White House. The president says he is fully committed to turning dreams of Mideast peace into reality.
The peace gathering will take place in picturesque Annapolis, Maryland, less than an hour outside of D.C. Hosting the summit, President Bush looks to make Mideast peace a major priority for the rest of his term. Both sides of the Israeli-Palestinian conflict will be at the table, as well as 16 Arab nations, including Syria and Saudi Arabia.
The Arabs who do not have diplomatic relations with Israel are all coming to join. They're coming to be part of the process, not to stand on the outside.
The White House is calling the summit a launching point for future negotiations. The U.S. is still hoping for a two-state solution. The last large-scale Israeli-Palestinian talks collapsed in 2001, but negotiators hope this conference is the first step to lasting peace.
Well, I believe what people don't know is that for the last 4 months, Prime Minister Olmert and President Abbas sat together. They formed the negotiating team, and I really believe we don't need to reinvent the wheel.
The summit is only expected to sketch vague bargaining terms. The big questions of Palestinian statehood, such as borders, sovereignty over disputed Jerusalem, and the fate of Palestinian refugees, will come later.
And the Iran factor could help negotiations. Israel and many Sunni Arab countries see a common threat in the rising power of Shiite Iran. Live at the White House, Sabrina Fang. Now back to you in Los Angeles.
Sabrina, thank you. 6:36 right now, and Pakistan's former prime minister was greeted by thousands of supporters upon returning to his home country. Nawaz Sharif arrived yesterday to register for the upcoming parliamentary elections. And this comes as reports from Pakistan say current President Pervez Musharraf has given up his military title and will be sworn in as a civilian president on Thursday. Musharraf has kept the government under emergency rule since November 3rd. The United States still supports the current government, but is urging leaders to end emergency rule in the country.
The chief suspect in the Natalie Holloway case has arrived in Aruba to face charges. Jordan Vandersloot was flown in from the Netherlands to appear before a judge this morning. Vandersloot and his two brothers are also being held in separate jails on the Caribbean island. They were the last people to see Holloway before her disappearance that happened back in May of 2005. Officials investigating the case are working under the assumption that Natalie Holloway is no longer alive.
The last passengers from a Norwegian cruise ship that hit an iceberg have arrived on dry land, and they were airlifted to an airport in Chile yesterday. 154 people were on board the MS Explorer when it slammed into an iceberg on Friday. All of the passengers and crew spent hours drifting in life rafts on chilly seas, and rescuers say calm waters and light winds helped in this rescue effort for them. It took 1 hour to collect the passengers and crew. At 6:38, we take a look at your business news and the opening bell on Wall Street.
All right, let's go live to the New York Stock Exchange. Chris Valerio from Bloomberg News with the latest on the market's opening. Good morning, Chris.
Hi, Chris.
Good morning, Sharon, Lou. Good morning, everyone. Well, let me tell you, a mixed open this morning. The Dow Jones Industrial Average actually up about 12 points right now. The S&P 500 up about 6 points with the NASDAQ down slightly. So again, a mixed open. Of course, we are watching the retailers this morning. That is after sales gained over the Thanksgiving holiday weekend. Retailers used discounts to lure more people into stores, even as individual shoppers spent less on average. ShopperTrack, RCT, says sales rose more than 8% the day after Thanksgiving, and that's a bigger increase than estimated. The National Retail Federation says 147 million customers went shopping. Meantime, it is Cyber Monday, and ComScore says online retail spending may surpass $700 million today as customers head to sites like Amazon.com and Walmart.com to find bargains. Online spending, by the way, rose 29% on Thanksgiving and 22% the day after. And shares of eBay and Amazon, I should say, trading higher right now. Also, we are keeping an eye on crude oil prices. Oil rose above $99 a barrel earlier this morning. That is amid speculation OPEC will resist calls for additional supply. The oil minister of Iran has said global supply is adequate. And the group OPEC has not indicated whether they raise output at a December 5th meeting. We will keep on top of that. And that is business news. I'm Chris Valerio, Bloomberg News. Frank, over to you in the studio now. Frank, I got to ask you, have you been doing some online shopping on the side today?
Well, let me see here. Yes. Yes. Thanks very much, Chris, and happy holidays to you. Good to see you. Now, consumers and retailers catching some holiday cheer. Now, if you think prices have been going up lately, you're absolutely right, and it's even affecting the price of all the things mentioned in the Christmas Carol, the 12 Days of Christmas. Now, an annual survey put together by the PNC Wealth Management Company shows something they've been doing since 1984. A hike in the minimum wage this year, higher food and gold prices caused a jump in several categories. Now, for example, we see the pear tree went up from $130 to $150 this year. The price of 4 calling birds took off from $400 to $600 this year. 6 geese a laying went up $60. 10 lords a leaping and 12 drummers drumming also moved higher. Now, not everything went up this year. The prices for a partridge, 2 turtle doves, and 3 French hens remain the same. No change in 7 swans swimming and 9 ladies dancing. Now, the people who calculate all of this say it would cost $78,100 to buy all of the 364 items mentioned in the song, up 4% from last year. Lou and Cherub, since this is Cyber Monday, they also figured out shopping for all the stuff would actually be more expensive online, costing more than $128,000, up 2.5% from a year ago. What's supposed to be a humorous survey usually mirrors actual economic trends and prices. Right back to you.
No discounts on that on the Cyber Monday?
I'm surprised.
Free shipping
Well, just keep looking.
All right.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Frank. Well, we are celebrating KTLA's 60 years of broadcasting by taking a look at major news events, and the Southland has had some devastating earthquakes in that time, but seismologists say that's just a drop in the bucket.
60 years is nothing in geologic terms. We've really learned more about how much we don't know.
From Sylmar to Northridge, KTLA provided compelling coverage of Southland earthquakes. We also took a look at the technology used to study quakes and improve construction techniques.
And you may remember this story when an airplane was stopped in mid-air. KTLA's Stan Chambers was on the scene and remembers the strange sight.
It was just about 10 o'clock, right at the start of News at 10, and it was the same reaction back there. How is this possible? How can a plane come in, hit high tension wires, and then get stuck? But somehow it happened, and it was really stuck up there. The big thing is it looked like it just couldn't stay there. Obviously, it was going to fall, and I kept thinking to myself, what am I going to say if it falls?
It was in 1986 over Ontario. This small airplane flew into high tension wires and was suspended above the ground. 2 men actually trapped upside down inside for almost 3 hours. They were eventually rescued by firefighters.
Racial tensions of the 1960s exploded in LA when a highway patrolman tried to arrest a black man for DUI, and the situation quickly escalated into the Watts riots.
Fry's mother arrived on the scene from her nearby home, berated the patrolman and her son. A crowd gathered. The officer called for help. Rocks were thrown at arriving police vehicles. Officers tried to hold back the crowd, and the riot was on.
Fires erupted around the Watts area, and looters raided stores of all kinds of goods. And despite the rollout of National Guardsmen, the riots lasted several days and caused $100 million in damage. And decades later, LA would explode into violence again. Following the infamous Rodney King beating, the LA riots broke out after all 4 police officers accused in the videotaped beating of Rodney King were acquitted.
Gail Anderson is live in South LA this morning to take a look at KTLA's coverage of the violent unrest. Good morning, Gail.
Good morning. Yes, we're at the intersection of Normandy and Florence in front of Tom's Liquor, where the disturbance began. To look at the intersection this morning, you would never think anything happened here. It's a busy Monday morning as commuters go to work and buses arrive taking people to work if people aren't driving themselves. But this is where it started. April 29th, 1992, 54 people were killed, more than 2,000 injured, more than 13,000 arrested, and more than 1,000 buildings damaged or destroyed. We take a look at Stan Chambers' coverage of what happened at this intersection the afternoon of April 29th, 1992.
2 car fires just broke out here at the corner of Normandy and Florence. Right in the parking area of that liquor store. Still a lot of people milling in the street. Corner of violence here a short time ago. The fires are still burning. 2 cars on fire, sending up black plumes of smoke. And that's right at the corner. Then over to the, you see it really burning there. People standing around, people running. This is the corner where motorists were pulled out of their cars a short time ago and badly beaten and robbed. At this point, we see someone has a stream of, it looked like a attempt to put that fire out, but it didn't last very long.
Yeah, no.
Section, the very same intersection you see this morning where people are busy on their way to school and to work here at the intersection of Normandy and Florence. We'll have more reports for you throughout the morning about this intersection and how people think and react to what has happened since then. Back to you in the studio.
Gail, thank you so much.
Time now is 6:45. Entertainment news is next, including how some striking writers are using the internet to get some laughs.
Plus, Santa Claus comes to Hollywood. We'll take you to the holiday tradition in Tinseltown. That's next. Plus, Mark Kriske has your forecast.
And in the forecast, things are looking real good. Beautiful weather on this Monday morning. Post the Thanksgiving holiday. Lots of sunshine and mild temperatures. Give you all the details, plus snow in our local mountains. Yes, we've got the videotape right after this.
You donate hard-earned money for a good cause, but the charity only gets pennies of what you gave.
People are getting ripped off.
Chip Yost investigates who really gets your money tonight on KTLA Prime News.
Hi, I'm John Cryer. Watch 2.5 Men every single night on KTLA.
Happy Honda days are here again, which means your Honda dealer is offering great deals on every car in stock. This holiday season is the perfect time to get into a new Accord, popular Civic, fun-loving Fit, or any Honda you desire. Just choose your favorite color and think Honda for the holidays. Lease a Honda Civic for $199 a month for well-qualified customers.
For Top Vegas shows, rooms, and more, just follow the arrow. Vegas.com. Do Vegas right.
The war in Europe is over. The unconditional surrender.
This is our country.
After 89 years in the making, this is our truck. The 2007 Motor Trend Truck of the Year. The all-new Chevy Silverado.
This is KTLA Television, Los Angeles.
Please join us on New Year's Day.
For the 119th Annual Tournament of Roses Parade on KTLA, the CW.
We're commercial free. We have the best camera location. We have the best stereo surround sound. Emmy award-winning coverage. And we're available in high definition.
Join us January 1 for the Rose Parade.
Let's see how the traffic is doing. Let's call in Larry Shear.
Stan, we're over the main interchange in downtown Los Angeles. We find all freeways heavily congested, primarily the Harbor Freeway inbound to the Civic Center, the Hollywood Freeway outbound from the Civic Center, Pasadena Freeway heavily congested outbound, and the San Bernardino Freeway also heavily congested outbound. The main point of congestion is the interchange transition road. That's the way it looks at now. Now back to News Control.
Thank you, Larry. We'll be having reports throughout the broadcast.
It is amazing to see those old pictures, and it doesn't really look like the traffic has gotten much better. But how about this? Reduced travel times on Pico and Olympic Boulevards? Well, that is actually part of a plan that Mayor Antonio Villaraigosa will announce today. And under the plan, parking would be eliminated on both boulevards during rush hour. There's a map for you. Then beginning next year, traffic lights would be retimed so that those traveling west on Olympic and east on Pico would have longer green lights. And if those two steps speed up traffic, mayoral aides say the city might restripe both boulevards so that most lanes on Pico would be for eastbound motorists and most lanes on Olympic would be for westbound motorists. I think it sounds like a good plan.
I think so, too.
What do you think,
check in
Mark?
with Marky?
Yes. Excellent plan.
I like it.
Whatever keeps the traffic moving in this city, because, boy, we love our cars. All right, let's have a look at what is going on in the weather forecast. But first of all, got a couple of items in traffic in Studio City, the 101 eastbound at Coldwater. 2-car accident. The number 1 lane is blocked because of that. And also in Los Angeles, the 110 northbound at Vernon, we have a 2-car accident. The number 1 lane is blocked. Got some videotape coming in from Big Bear. We haven't had snow, but thanks to the snow-making equipment up there, check this out. Snow in Big Bear. Open over the weekend. Boarders and skiers alike, and now's the time to get up there. So, Big Bear and Snow Mountain crews have been making snow overnight with temperatures in the mid-20s, about 12 to 24 inches. Machine groomed, packed powder. Coverage is considered good, with runs nearly full of snow. And skiers and snowboarders are advised to use caution near the edges. But they've got a good buildup of snow. That's what the snow-making equipment can do, and they are open, Snow Summit and Bear Mountain. Major delays happening at LaGuardia Airport in New York. JFK at 38 minutes, but LaGuardia up to 180 minutes. That's because of weather, and you are going to be stuck on the ground here in Los Angeles if you're planning on flying out to LaGuardia Airport. Check with your local carrier. We also have some problems in Chicago. Not that big, but they're getting some snow. A couple of lows all around us, but for us, mostly clear skies today on this Monday. Beautiful weather. Mild temperatures is what we are looking at today and tomorrow. And then we're not looking at any sort of heavy weather moving into the area. Possibly Friday, that's when we could see another low, which is developing way up in the Pacific Northwest, move into the region. All right, let's go to the daytime highs. The temperatures 70 in Oxnard, 79 degrees in Woodland Hills, Santa Monica 71, El Monte 76, 72 in Pomona, and I'm at 72 in Newport Beach, 68 degrees. Further down south, down and through Orange County, Irvine, San Clemente, and San Diego 72 and 67. Inland Empire 72s right here. Palm Springs 74 in Big Bear, where, as we said, the mountains are open, and now is the time to get out there and do some skiing and boarding as the traffic is very light. No wait on lift lines. Overnight, not looking too bad. We had these temperatures much colder over the weekend, at the beginning of the weekend, down to 38 degrees in some of the valley cities, Woodland Hills, that's on the cool side. Burbank a little bit warmer at 43. Palmdale and Lancaster in the upper deserts, once again, those temperatures dropping below the 30-degree mark. San Manuel Indian Gaming and Casino, that's what we're looking at. Downtown L.A., 51 degrees at the moment. San Diego 52, Palm Springs 50, and in Ontario the temperature is 50 degrees. 5-day outlook. Coastal OC 68 to 67. Mostly clear skies through the afternoon. Slight chance of rain moving in by the end of the week on Friday. San Fernando Valley 79 and 77 degrees. Wednesday and Thursday 78 and 76, and then on Friday 71 degrees. Jessica Holmes is up in the KTLA helicopter with traffic. Let's see what's happening out there. No, we don't have her? Okay. Speaking of, too, with the winds blowing around, I don't know if it's allergies or whatever, but a lot of people complain. I got that, that sort of stuffed up head. I feel great, but I think it's allergies. Because
I think a lot of it, you look great, but I think a lot of it might be some of the smoke coming from Malibu as well.
Whatever,
Yeah, because my friends were complaining about headaches yesterday.
Yeah, air quality not that good out there, and we might have some of those pollens or whatever blowing around, so make sure you might want to curtail your outdoor strenuous activities, although I know we're all wanting to exercise after Thanksgiving, right?
Exactly.
I don't know if we want to, but we should.
We do something, some kind of cruise around the neighborhood.
Yeah.
All right, thanks so much, Mark. Well, a crowd estimated by police at 125,000 to 150,000 watched the Hollywood Santa Parade. Bob Barker was the grand marshal for the parade. He was joined on the parade route by Jamie Farr, Tony Plana, Dick Van Patten, Menudo, Fred Willard, Mayor Antonio Villaraigosa, and plus many others. Last March, the Hollywood Chamber of Commerce announced it would no longer hold the Hollywood Christmas Parade. The city of Los Angeles raised the money to hold a parade this year, and they pledged to do the same next year. And you can see the parade Sunday, December 16th at noon, right here on KTLA, and our very own Frank and Michaela hosted the parade.
That's right. We're going to hear more about that later.
They had a busy weekend.
They sure did. Looked like a lot of fun, so I'm glad that it's back on. Yeah.
It always gets you into the mood as well. Sam Rubin in the newsroom. Good morning.
Hi, ladies. Good morning to the two of you. Talks resume today between striking TV writers and studio producers. In the meantime, striking members of the Writers Guild of America have been taking to the internet to ply their trade. Case in point, a blog created by 10 writers from the David Letterman Show. The blog includes monologue-type jokes, anecdotes about strike experiences, and familiar but new Letterman bits. Among the other features that appeared on the blog, the George W. Bush joke of the day, talking to children about the writer's strike, and ground rules for today's negotiations. You want to check it out yourself? Address 3ws.lateshowwritersonstrike. 5am-9am.com. To Broadway now. Striking Broadway stagehands and theater producers have agreed to a 12-hour break in negotiations. Union spokesperson announced the adjournment at about 3:30 this morning, local time here. At least one media report says the stagehands are very close to a deal. Spokesperson said give and take was happening on both sides of the bargaining table. The dispute focuses primarily on how many stagehands it takes to keep any particular show running. Stagehands want a set number of workers required to put on a show. Producers want increased flexibility. She may have written her last Harry Potter story, but author J.K. Rowling is still red hot. Entertainment Weekly has named Rowling the magazine's Entertainer of the Year. Harry Potter books have sold nearly 400 million copies, a film franchise that's become one of the most successful in history. The magazine named Matt Damon as one of the most popular entertainers. Katie Heigl, Johnny Depp, Kanye West also made the list. What about buzzworthy Amy Winehouse, Gerald Butler, and Tyler Perry? Enchanted first place at the box office this weekend. Enchanted brought in an estimated $35.3 million over the 3-day weekend. $50 million if you include the entire holiday period that began on Wednesday. Let's take a look at the list. This Christmas was in second place, bringing in an estimated $18.6 million over the 3-day weekend, $27.1 million over the 5-day. Beowulf third, Hidden in fourth, and B-Movie was fifth. Live here this morning, Adrian Pazdar from Heroes, plus Adrian Curry and Christopher Knight from the Brady Bunch. An update on talks between writers and producers. And we're talking about 60 years of television right here. We'll condense all of it into the next 3 hours. Who watched the Retro Marathon? A key, the Monkees. Which was,
we all did.
The Monkees was excellent. And Wonder Woman was pretty good. What did you guys watch?
And Gilligan's Island was on this morning.
I watched something with Dom DeLuise as a superhero with glasses, and I don't know what it was. It was very confusing.
You know what's going to be interesting, and I'm not talking tales out of school. I'm incredibly curious about the ratings for this whole thing, because the fact of the matter is, if the ratings pop in a big way...
We're done.
No, well, hopefully not done, but
right.
that could be something that they could do all the time, I think. It'd be
absolutely.
fun.
Gilligan's Island, baby. All right, thanks, Sam.
Thank you, Sam. That is it for us here on Early Edition for Lou and I. Let's go to Frank Buckley right now with a look at what's coming up on the KTLA Retro Morning Show.
That's right. Good morning, ladies. Lots of news ahead. The Malibu wildfire is expected to be fully contained later this evening. After destroying at least 53 homes, our Rachel Calderon is live with an update on the investigation. And our Retro Marathon continues until 10 a.m. this morning. Eric Spillman will focus on 60 years of fire coverage right here at KTLA. Plus, Gail Anderson is live at Florence and Normandy with a look back at the LA riots. Those stories and much more when I join Michaela, Mark, and Sam for the morning show in less than 2 minutes.
Take control.
It's the season to shop, and the Red Tags are coming back for the GMC Red Tag event. And right now, they're bringing the best values of the season. Look for the Red Tag and get 0% financing for 60 months on remaining 2007 GMC light-duty trucks and SUVs while supplies last. That's 0% financing for 5 full years on new 2007 GMC models for an average finance savings of $7,268 on the Yukon XL. The Red Tag event. See some red, save some green.
I was always working in the mall, and it just was not working after I had my son. I decided to call American Career College because I needed a set schedule. Especially for single mothers, it's so much better to have a career than working those jobs. I would try going to community colleges, and I would never complete the classes. And so coming to American Career College, it was a short program. My self-esteem is really high right now because I know that I've done something good in my life.
1-800-958-3777.
Save up to 80% buying Factory Direct. The Jewelry Exchange imports diamonds direct and has the lowest margins of any major jeweler. Quarter-carat journey pendants are $89. 1/3 carat studs are $99. 3-stone bracelets are $159. 2-carat $399. 2-carat studs and 2-carat 3-stone rings in 18-carat are $19.90. The Jewelry Exchange has thousands of rings, pendants, bracelets, and earrings guaranteed to appraise for double, plus no interest for 6 months. Buy Factory Direct and save. The Jewelry Exchange in Tustin.
Two chins. Two brothers.
What the deuce?
Good things always come in twos. Family Guy and 2.5 Men. 2 hours back-to-back tonight at 6 on KTLA. Live from Hollywood, this is the KTLA Morning Show.
Hey, good morning for a Monday. Welcome back from a long holiday weekend. We hope you enjoyed it. We're glad to have you back. Lots of news ahead this morning, but we're also going to be continuing our retro marathon. And look, Michaela got dressed for the occasion. We were just admiring it.
Is that what we were doing, Mark?
Yeah, I certainly was.
You know what?
I love the hair.
When they told us we were doing the retro marathon,
Yeah.
I went into my closet and picked out a little vintage outfit I had, and I thought it would be fun to do.
Excellent.
And this is as close to a beehive as I'm going to get. So.
I like it. What do you think, Mike?
I think, you know what, the outfit's good, but the hair rocks it. That's, the hair really makes it happen, definitely. All right. It's not what I said to her 5 seconds ago at all.
Sure isn't.
Not what I said to her 5 seconds. Oh, I'm in trouble. All right, let's have a look at what's going on in traffic and whether it's in traffic. She's looking at the hair now. In La Brea, 57 southbound at Imperial, we have an accident that is slowing things down. That's causing some problems. LA, coastal valley areas, anywhere from 74 to 77 degrees. Mostly sunny today, and just a beautiful, beautiful day here post the Thanksgiving weekend. Everybody back to work, everybody back to school. Frank, back to you.
All right, thanks, Mark. First in the news, improving weather is giving firefighters the upper hand in battling the Corral fire in Malibu. Cool breezes from the ocean and higher moisture levels are helping them to control the blaze. Dozens of homes were completely destroyed. Others were severely damaged. The fire started Saturday and forced the evacuation of 14,000 people. Fire officials say it broke out along a dirt road off a paved highway. Investigators are trying to determine if it was set by an arsonist. Here's the latest information on the fire. It's 90% contained. More than 4,700 acres have burned. 80 structures, including 53 homes, were destroyed. Another 45 structures were damaged, including 34 homes. 14 vehicles were also lost in the blaze. Firefighters say it was caused by human activity, but it's unclear if it was deliberately set. Rachel Calderon is in Malibu right now with the very latest. Good morning, Rachel.
Good morning, Frank. I actually have some updated numbers for you, and they are good numbers. We have been told that this fire, again, is 90% contained, and full containment is expected by 6 o'clock tonight. And right now, there are 1,200 personnel still here at the command center. That is actually down from 1,700 that we saw earlier this weekend. And the good news is that they are still working very hard on this fire, which at this point, 4,900 acres have burned, and 2 helicopters are being used right now, focusing on a 1-mile area that has an uncontrolled fire at this time. Now, you're looking at a video here of a helitorch, a helicopter which drops flames on unburned areas to burn out brush that could pose a hazard if wind picked up again. Now, there's Governor Schwarzenegger, who toured this area and met with homeowners and fire officials. Now, as that was happening, investigators were focusing on the cause of the fire. They know it started in an area north of Corral Canyon, where neighbors have complained of late-night parties and bonfires there. And at this time, investigators do not know if it was started by accident or on purpose.
We do have a fire task force comprised of the LA County Fire Department investigators, sheriff's investigators, and CAL FIRE. And at this point, it is still under investigation. They have investigated the area of origin, and they have determined that it was human-caused, meaning that there was some human activity going on in the area. What exactly, we don't know. We're still investigating that, and we won't have final determination for several days still.
Now, I've been told that the roads in this area, all of the roads in this area that were closed, will be reopened by noon today, and the Pacific Coast Highway has been open to traffic in both directions. We will have more information as it becomes available this morning. For now, we're live in Malibu. Rachel Calderon, back to you in Hollywood.
And Rachel, one of the incredible stories that people were talking about over the weekend is how they were able to pre-position these assets and these firefighters and the mobilization that took place to get all these folks into position to fight these fires this weekend.
Absolutely, Frank. You know, I was told by CAL FIRE earlier this weekend that it was due to the computer models that they were focusing on heavily over the weekend that can not only tell them and help them forecast the wind conditions and the weather conditions, but could actually calculate the speed at how fast a fire would spread if one were to break out. And because they had those computer models, they were able to get those guys in place early, and they were able to respond as soon as they found out that there was a fire that broke at 3:30 in the morning on Saturday. So good news for them.
Okay, Rachel, thank you.
Well, covering wildfires has been a part of our history here at KTLA. Back in 1961, viewers got their very first look at a devastating fire with live images from the air. Eric Spillman is live in Bel Air with a look at that. Hi, Eric.
Hi, Michaela. Nowadays, live marathon TV coverage of brush fires is routine. We saw that over the weekend with the fire up in Malibu. But in 1961, it was something new. And KTLA was there in November of 1961 when the Bel Air fire broke out.
A major brush fire erupted this morning in Sherman Oaks.
It would turn out to be the most destructive brush fire to hit LA in decades. And for the first time, television would cover it live.
Walls of fire stretching for nearly a quarter of a block with flames leaping up to as much as 200 feet into the air have been seen from the helicopter.
Back then, KTLA had the only TV news chopper in town, but nobody had any real experience with this type of coverage. Nobody had done it before.
Several pieces of firefighting equipment are standing by and are working desperately to prevent the flames from reaching this home. I would estimate the value of this particular home in the neighborhood of $60,000.
We didn't do too many live things. We were just beginning to get to that live stage. But the fact that we responded quickly and got out there, and then we stayed for hours and hours.
Another Bor-8 bomber coming in right now, coming in very low, right at the front of the fire, drops its load, and we all pray that it hits.
That's Stan there on the left. He covered the fire in a suit and tie. KTLA stayed on the air 17 hours straight that day, and even with the primitive equipment of that time, reporters like Cleet Roberts captured the drama of what was going on.
You better not go down in there, lady. Huh?
Oh, no.
Who's in there? Who's in there?
My girlfriend's father.
What's his name?
His name is Qureshi.
Qureshi, and what's the address? Don't get excited.
1401, it's this house.
1401.
Please, it's 1401.
We got everybody out of here.
Are you sure? Where is he? Oh, my God.
He's out.
Where is he?
Don't go down in there now, whatever you do.
Oh, no. Oh, my
what you do.
God. It's all my fault that I didn't come
Stretch.
this morning.
Take this lady's car and back it up there and turn it around.
And then later, this memorable scene.
All right, we're going to move our camera back and get it out of the way. We're in that embarrassing position of being in the way before the firemen are. He says there's no use fooling with this. They don't have enough water.
This is John Hilliard at the newsroom right here at KTLA. And we're going to
They used a felt-tip pen and a wall map to show where the fire was going.
all through this area that you see marked off here.
And yet the coverage captivated a huge audience.
Watch them move back. See that flame just lick up as though, look at them bend before it, you see? Flame reached over the top of the hill as though it was a hand.
By the time it was over, the fire had destroyed 456 homes in Bel Air and Brentwood. It had burned out of control for 2 days, and people were able to see the power of a brush fire for the first time live on television. And we saw that power this weekend in Malibu. No doubt we will see it again here in Southern California. Next hour, more of the historical footage. We'll dig deep into the archives to show you more on the history of brush fire coverage here on KTLA over the last 60 years. Michaela, Frank?
Really interesting, Eric, to see how far we've come, but I was really struck by something watching that with the felt tip pens and just zooming into a map on the wall. Even the simplest tools, if used properly, can help tell a story. Sometimes we get wrapped up in all the bells and whistles, don't we?
Yeah, I mean, that was effective. It worked. People knew where it was going.
All right, more next hour, Eric. Thanks for that look.
Okay.
President Bush is hosting a major Mideast peace summit in Washington this week. The president will meet with both Israeli and Palestinian leaders before the conference kicks off tomorrow. 16 Arab nations will attend the summit, including Syria and Saudi Arabia. Major topics of the conference include Palestinian statehood and disputed border territory. President Bush says he's committed to seeing both Israel and Palestine living side by side in peace. And while talks get underway, the Department of Homeland Security is on guard against any threats to the conference. Federal authorities are advising local law enforcement to be on alert for possible terrorist activity surrounding the summit. Officials issued a bulletin highlighting a dozen groups on watch, including Hamas and Hezbollah. About 200 dignitaries from 35 countries are expected to be in Annapolis for the beginning of the talks.
Pakistan's former prime minister was greeted by thousands of supporters upon returning to his home country. Nawaz Sharif arrived yesterday to register for the upcoming parliamentary elections. This comes amid reports from Pakistan saying current President Pervez Musharraf has given up his military title and will be sworn in as civilian president on Thursday. Musharraf has kept the government under emergency rule since November 3rd. The United States still supports the current government, but is urging leaders to end emergency rule.
Some breaking news this morning out of Washington. We're hearing that Republican Senator Trent Lott will resign by the end of the year. Lott is currently serving his fourth term. Word of his resignation comes from congressional and White House sources. He's expected to make a formal announcement later today. No reason is being given for the decision, but the sources say health is not one of them. They say Lott has other opportunities he plans to pursue. The Mississippi representative is the number 2 Republican in the Senate. Eunice Kennedy Shriver has been hospitalized. A spokeswoman for Massachusetts General Hospital says Shriver was admitted on November 18th. She's in fair condition as of Saturday. She did not release any more information. Shriver founded the Special Olympics and championed the rights of the mentally retarded. Shriver is 86 years old. She is the mother of Maria Shriver and the sister of President John F. Kennedy and Senator Ted Kennedy.
Los Angeles Mayor Antonio Villaraigosa expected to announce a plan today that aides say would significantly reduce travel time on Pico and Olympic Boulevards. First, parking would be eliminated on both boulevards during rush hour. Then, beginning next year, traffic lights would be retimed so that those traveling west on Olympic and east on Pico would have longer green lights. If those 2 steps speed up traffic, mayoral aides say the city might restripe both boulevards so that most lanes on Pico would be for eastbound motorists, while most lanes on Olympic would be for westbound motorists.
Well, was it a practical joke or beauty pageant sabotage? A contestant in a Puerto Rico beauty pageant had her evening gown and makeup laced with pepper spray. Ingrid Rivera was composed in front of the judges, but backstage, she broke out in hives. Those at the event thought she was having an allergic reaction, but after testing her gown, they found the pepper spray. Even though she had to battle through adversity, Rivera won the crown and is the new Miss Puerto Rico.
And the thing is, that will forever be her story.
Oh, yeah.
When she goes on to compete in, I guess, Miss Universe.
Maybe it'll be a good luck charm.
Maybe it
Bring
will.
the pepper spray.
Yeah, I'm not doing so good. Get the pepper spray.
Spray me down.
You spray me down quick. But you just kind of wonder about the other contestants. If she's all hived and everything, she still wins. Let's go to Jessica in the KTLA traffic copter.
She's gorgeous in hives, what can I say? And Michaela, by the way, beautiful this morning. I love how you look. But I wish the men would have busted out the polyester suits and the bell bottoms, because I think that would have kind of pulled the whole retro thing together. I'm wearing bell bottoms right now. Just can't see them. Good morning, everybody, over the 405 freeway. Beautiful morning. The sun's out. I'm clicking. Nothing happening, Sam. Okay, there we go. 405, traffic is heavy again. Not too bad, actually, once you get past the 10 freeway. A little bit further south, though. The 405 was really slow, and everybody's back in town after the long weekend. Let's go ahead and get to our maps, though. Tell you what's going on with our traffic. 71 southbound at the 60. We had a spin out right there, the number 2 lane. Speeds are looking just fine for the 60 freeway this morning and the 71. Also 101 eastbound at Coldwater. Let's check Coldwater. 2 cars. It was in the number 1 lane. It's now moved over to the right shoulder, but look at how slow the 101 is. Delays to Topanga. Speeds down to about 17 miles an hour at Tampa, and the 405 is struggling too. And speeds, speaking of it, the 405 northbound speeds from the 710 over to the 105. Going to take you about, well, it's 32 miles an hour at Wilmington, 30 at the 110, and down to 22 at Artesia. So a real tough drive there for that 405 this morning. Let's go to Commander Chuck Street, who's up in the Pepsi Jet Ranger this morning. Chuck, how was your Thanksgiving, Chuck?
Wonderful, wonderful. I know you had to work, but I had 4 days off in a row, which was much appreciated, I'll tell you. What's not appreciated is the fact that we have an accident in Brea. It's on the 57 freeway southbound at Imperial Highway. 5 vehicles have slammed together, and they were trying to make it off to the right shoulder. In South Orange County, in San Juan Capistrano, on the I-5 southbound, just south of Ortega Highway, that was an accident involving a big rig truck that skidded over the side into the bushes. Best news of all, no slowing at all all in either direction. And how about some Inland Empire travel times, like for that busy West 91 from the I-15 through Corona to the 55? That'll take you 30 minutes. The average is 17 minutes. And then how about that 60 freeway westbound from the I-15 over towards the 57? That'll take you 17 minutes, slightly above the average of 15. That's the latest on the freeways on this beautiful day here in Los Angeles. Let's check in now with Mark Kriske and see if this beautiful weather is going to last.
Oh, thank you very much, Commander Chuck. And yes, the beautiful weather, absolutely gorgeous. Temperatures in the 70s, and it's just a beautiful, beautiful morning. Throughout most of Southern California, clear skies, lots of sunshine, a little bit of fog, a little bit of cloud moving into the area in various beach communities the further south you go, but otherwise clearing very quickly. Showed you last hour, want to mention once again, Snow Summit, Bear Mountain open. We've got snow in our local mountains thanks to the modern-day machinery, snowmaking equipment, so they are open for boarding and skiing and have been over the entire Thanksgiving weekend, and now is the time to get out there and do it because the lift lines are short. 79 degrees this afternoon in Woodland Hills, 71 in Santa Monica, 73 in Long Beach, 68 for Newport, 72 in Pomona and Santa Barbara, 68 degrees. We're going to be a couple of degrees warmer today compared to what we had yesterday, and then as the week moves along, nice weather by, let's say, Friday and Saturday heading into the weekend. That's when we could see some rain actually moving into Southern California. Down further south, daytime highs in the Inland Empire in the mid-70s, overnight lows dropping into the 47, 48, 44 degree mark. Palm Springs dropping down to about 50. Big Bear and Wrightwood 24 and 28 degrees. Once again, that is the reason why they are making snow up there, because of the cold overnight temperatures. Woodland Hills and the valleys down to about 38. Burbank a little bit warmer at 43. And then there it is. There's a video from this weekend. This is at Snow Summit. You can see people getting on board the lift lines, and there they are coming down the hill. Look at all the boarders. So many more boarders now than there are skiers, especially when they get out there early. It's like the younger kids want to get out there and let's go and do some boarding and do some skiing. But the hills are in good shape. There's some areas up to 24 inches of snow, man-made snow. They got some heavy-duty snowmaking equipment up there.
I really need to be there.
Downtown LA, it's the only way it works here in Southern California, especially with the dry winters we've had. They can now be up and running. I mean, you kind of wonder, wait a minute, when did it snow? When did it rain? And you're going, it didn't, but it didn't. Big Bear and Bear Mountain and Snow Summit. Downtown LA at the moment, 50, San Diego 53, Palm Springs 48, Ontario, the temperature 50 degrees. 5-day outlook 74 to 72 degrees. Thursday and Friday 73, and there you go. Friday, the clouds increasing and possibly some rain moving into the area. Inland Empire, same story, low mid 70s all the way through. Chance of showers by Friday, and in San Diego 60s, chance of showers moving into the area on Friday. So going to watch what happens over the weekend. Looks like we could see a trough and some clouds and some rain moving in. It's far away right now, so it's really hard to tell exactly. But we're giving you a little bit of a heads up. We might see some weather actually down the road.
Okay, great. Thanks, Mark.
All right, let's check in with Sam Rubin, Mr. Retro himself.
Hi, friends. Trying to be as retro as possible. Start this morning with what many hope is the beginning, Frank and Michaela, of the end. We don't know the name of the hotel where they plan to meet. We don't even know precisely who'll be there. But we do know that WGA striking writers and producers will meet again today this morning starting at 10 a.m. Some say a deal is very close to being struck. Considerable behind the scenes and so-called back channel conversations have taken place. There is a news blackout on talks, but so far through this writer strikes, there have been leaks aplenty, and we hope to have more throughout the day. Now, this little bit of info probably does not make the producers look so good. A major claim, the producers who represent film studios, TV networks, not making enough money. Don't tell that to the head of NBC, Jeff Zucker. His real estate agent reports that Zucker has paid more than $12 million for a New York City apartment. The apartment used to be owned by Kitty Carlisle. The writer's strike and the inability to rewrite the script for a film called State of Play prompted Brad Pitt to bail from that movie. Reports this morning, Russell Crowe in talks to take Pitt's place. To the Great White Way, and at the moment, Broadway stagehands are still picketing. Shows are still dark, but stagehands and producers are talking again. They're in a recess right now. Negotiations will continue later today. The fight here, how many stagehands are required to put on a Broadway show? And is there a show of romance between Paul McCartney and a reported new gal pal? How about Rosanna Arquette? Rosanna and McCartney spotted twice in England. Papers there say the two were on dates. Later here, the step beyond dating, being married. Chris Knight and Adrienne Curry are man and wife, and will meet the reality pair and their trip through Russia later this morning. Of course, Chris Knight, part of the Brady Bunch, part of our 60-year retrospective. What shows did you guys watch this weekend?
Okay, Little House on the Prairie.
How was that?
I loved it.
Okay.
They need to bring it back. Well, they can't really. Three Stooges.
Okay.
Charles in Charge.
Good.
I was very busy.
Loved Big Valley with a very, very young Linda Evans.
Big Valley.
Wow,
Oh,
was
it was
she
beautiful. Barbara Stanwyck?
Yeah,
Okay.
Barbara Stanwyck too, yeah.
To me, the
Didn't Clint Eastwood do some shots on Big Valley?
He may well have.
I think so,
to me,
yeah.
the Monkees totally played.
I didn't see that, but I got to see
played.
them.
Saw some of the Monkees.
And
21 Jump Street,
Wonder
hello.
Woman.
That was fantastic.
And sat on the sofa with my boys and watched Three Stooges, and my wife was just staring like, oh,
She's like,
you are the Three
She's pointing to the
Stooges.
sofa going, the Stooges are right here.
Yeah.
Exactly right.
Do I need to look at the TV?
All right, Zaddy, more
a
from me a little bit
Thanks,
later.
Sam.
Thanks, honey.
All morning, we'll be taking a look back at KTLA's coverage of the biggest news event since we first hit the air 60 years ago. In 1992, the LA riots broke out after all 4 police officers accused in the videotape beating of Rodney King were acquitted.
Gail Anderson is live in South LA this morning at the very intersection where tensions first boiled over. Hi, Gail.
It's amazing to look at this intersection this morning. It looks like a lot of intersections in a major urban area. People going to work, going to school, getting their newspaper. But this was a very different spot, April 1992. Let us show you how KTLA showed viewers what was going on here that evening of April 29th, 1992. This the spot where the disturbance began. 54 people killed, more than 2,000 injured, more than 13,000 arrested, more than 1,000 buildings damaged or destroyed. This from the helicopter with Stan Chambers reporting on what he witnessed as tensions and emotions bubbled up and spilled onto the streets. And then a unique situation happened within days of the disturbance. People wanted to do something, but didn't know what to do. Edward James Olmos, the actor, and a number of people felt helpless and frustrated and decided that they would go out with brooms and sweep and clean. And in an interview with Mr. Olmos, he explained why they did that. Take a listen.
We started sweeping, and then all of a sudden cars started arriving and parking, and they would come out with brooms. And pretty soon there was 40. And then daybreak hit, and there was like 80 of us. And we were going like down Adams, right down Adams on Western, right off of Adams on Western, and walking down Western. And all of a sudden, there was, light, and you could hear the gunfire. And then a person came up to me and said, some of the people that are helping us right now have guns. I said, are they using them? And he said, no. I said, then leave them alone and just keep on sweeping.
You're looking live at the intersection of Normandy and Florence on this morning as people commute to work and to school. We're taking a retrospective look at this location and how people now review that situation, and they've been talking to us throughout this morning, and we'll have some of that for you throughout the morning, whether people think the situation has improved since April of 1992. Back to you in the studio.
Yeah, and Gail, one of the reasons that we have these moments of retrospection is so that we can try and make sense of what happened and see that it doesn't happen again. Look back so we can learn from our past.
Exactly, and then the other element that I think gets lost because, and the only reason I think of it, because it's me, I wasn't here in 1992. I was working in New York, and I remember a number of us who were working on a syndicated show, and a number of us were working in the office, and one of our bosses yelled at us and said, hey, come in here, take a look at the television. And we look, and I said, well, what's that? And our boss said, LA's on fire. There's a riot. And we thought, what? Los Angeles? And so to actually be at this location this morning, it's interesting for me to have a different perspective, to be here as opposed to looking at it from a television screen. And there have to be a number of people here who've moved here since 1992 thinking or feeling the same thing.
Yeah, and it's not really an exaggeration to say Los Angeles was on fire. I was working as a reporter for one of our competitors at the time and covering those riots, and you literally, Gail, could look out and see smoke rising all over the city. And it was like a scene in some horrible film, where you take the wide shot and suddenly you see black smoke all over the city. And that's really what it was like.
And I remember seeing that on the boss's television screen in the middle of Manhattan thinking, what in the world is going on?
Yeah.
Very different
so
to be
here
standing
now
there
and understand
exactly.
what happened.
Exactly.
It's interesting. And we'll have interesting comments from people who tell us what they think about what has happened to LA since. We'll have that for you next hour.
That'll be interesting perspective, Gail.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks.
Very
much.
much.
We'll leave that now and give you a look at some business news. It's the official start of the holiday season today, again, this time online.
Frank Motek joins us this morning with a check of money and consumer headlines. And Frank, I'll tell you, as we do this retro thing, I wish we could go back to a time of oil below $50 a barrel.
Yeah, 60 years ago it was below $2 a barrel. I did check that. That is really something. Now, consumers did open their purses and wallets and spend more than analysts expected on Friday, the day after Turkey Day, and the official start of the holiday shopping season. Now, the stock market has caught some holiday cheer this morning with retail company stocks like Walmart moving mostly higher. The Dow jumped 50 points to 13,031. NASDAQ up 14 to 2,610. Now, the latest reading we're getting from the National Retail Research Group ShopperTrack says total sales rose 8.3% on the day after Turkey Day compared to the same day a year ago. ShopperTrack also found that total sales were about $10.3 billion on Friday alone. Today is Cyber Monday, the official start of the holiday shopping season online. About 75% of online retailers will be offering special promotions. That's up from 43% 2 years ago when the first Monday after Thanksgiving was declared Cyber Monday. This year, you might have already noticed in your email inbox, many retailers have launched email campaigns with special deals, and about a quarter of retailers will be offering free shipping on all purchases. It's also expected a lot of people returning to work today will spend some time shopping online. Michaela and Frank, more information about which retailers are offering sales can be found at cybermonday.com and KTLA.com. Well, it's back to work now. Got the laptop right here. All right, I'll talk to you later.
All right.
Okay.
Thanks very much, Frank.
All right, we have some breaking news out of Florida this morning. There are reports from a local station in Miami that Washington Redskins safety Sean Taylor has been shot in the leg at his home. He's reportedly in surgery at this hour, according to a statement released by the team. Taylor has been recovering from a knee injury, so he has not been playing lately. Taylor's 24 years old and is in his fourth season in the NFL. The Miami-Dade Police Department is investigating that incident.
All right, coming up, we continue our retro news with a look at earthquakes.
Bill Smith takes us through some of the Southland's biggest quakes over the last 60 years.
Plus, veteran reporter Stan Chambers takes us back to Bobby Kennedy's assassination. We have so much more news to look at today and also look back on in our history here at KTLA. And speaking of retro, why not a little Wang Chung? This is my pick. We'll be right back.
In the world tonight.
KTLA's 60-hour Retro Marathon is brought to you by SoCalChevy.com.
This Thanksgiving season, everything changes. The Chevy Red Tag event is blowing into town. And while supplies last, well-qualified buyers now get 0% financing for 60 months on Chevys like the HHR, Equinox, Trailblazer, and Tahoe with its best-in-class available fuel economy. That's $78.15 in average finance savings.
Big choices are easy at your Subway restaurant.
Taste the carne asada steak sub, made in authentic style with marinated beef steak grilled to a tender, flavorful perfection with a half pound on a foot-long sub. Que sabor!
Try the hot pastrami sub. Delicious, full-flavor, traditional beef pastrami. And you get a big half pound of hot pastrami on a footlong.
So come to a Subway restaurant today.
Carne asada,
pastrami.
Can't decide? Try both. Subway. Eat fresh.
There's a new pet.
Chia.
Chia Pets, the pottery that grows. And now Chia Garfield. And
Scooby-Dooby-Doo.
She's a Chia pet too.
Raggy?
Yes, even Shaggy. It's fun. Soak your Chia, spread the seeds, and watch it grow.
Chia.
And now there's a bonus gift in every original Chia Pet box. A mini Chia Cuddly or a Chia alarm clock.
Chia.
Chia Pets. Collect them all.
Available at Target, Walgreens, Rite Aid, and CVS.
It's Ford's year-end celebration, our biggest event, with the best offers of the year on Mustang, the best-selling sports car in America. Mustang GT delivers 300 horses of pure American muscle, and it's the highest-ranked midsize sporty car in initial quality by J.D. Power and Associates. Now lease a Mustang for only $299 per month with zero first month payment, zero security deposit, and zero due at signing. Visit your local Ford dealer today.
When you get in your car, rely on the KTLA Traffic Companion by Traffic Gauge for real-time bird's-eye view of traffic conditions for less than $50. Go to ktla.com/traffic for your KTLA discount.
Good morning, Jessica Holmes here live in the KTLA helicopter. This is our first chance to get over Malibu this morning. And just now that it's daylight and we're able to see what went on here over the weekend, where 53 homes were lost, 80 structures in all. And right now we're right over Latigo Canyon. And you can see here, there's this one gorgeous home right in front there that was saved. All around it, the ground is burned. And then just to the right, that structure was completely lost. And that's basically what happened over the weekend. The fire was just kind of, it was a lottery. It just kind of skipped and jumped, and some houses were saved, some were lost. And they do have 90% containment on the Malibu fire. And like I said, 53 homes were lost over the weekend. They've got about 1,200 firefighters still on the scene out here, but really not seeing any kind of smoke. We saw one little flare-up of smoke, and that's about it. Things are pretty calm. PCH is back open. Everyone is being allowed to kind of come back into their neighborhoods and into their homes. But it's pretty amazing to see. And we saw a lot of that where a home was intact and fine, and then another home just next to it was completely destroyed. So there's your shot of Malibu this morning. We also want to tell you what's happening with your traffic as well, because we have a couple of things happening on this Monday as everybody's back to work and back to school, and the roads are busy again. 405 southbound at Sherman Way, a 3-car accident there in the number 1 lane. Speeds are slow for the 405 southbound and the 101. Also 10 westbound at San Gabriel, a 2-car accident there, everything over to the right shoulder, but the 10 pretty sluggish there through Rosemead, and then as you head towards the 60, 91 west at Central's another one. 4 cars got into it there. Number 2 lane is blocked, and it looks like things are definitely sluggish from the 710 to the 110 there on your 91 drive. All right, guys, I'll go ahead and send it back to you in the studio.
It was down the street next to the liquor store.
The voice you're hearing there is the story of KTLA. 60 years to a large degree is the story of a relationship between one man, Stan Chambers, and this entire city. As Eric spoke of the Bel Air fires, we heard from Stan. As Gail spoke of the 92 riots, we heard from Stan. And now we're going to talk with Stan about his remarkable book and a remarkable event that he covered, the assassination of Robert Kennedy in 1968. Take a look at this package.
So, my thanks to all of you, and now let's on to Chicago and let's win there.
I'll never forget that night in the KTLA control room. The senator had just finished his speech. We were leaving the air. We were off for maybe 5 or 10 or 15 seconds when an engineer from the ambassador said, there have been shots fired here, they're shooting. We cut to them right away to see what was happening.
Hello, Chuck. This is Chuck. Hector's gone to see. You want to take it? Hey. Can we roll? Off the line. I can't hear you. I'll do it for both if you want.
Is there a doctor in the house?
Quiet! All right, quiet, please. Quiet, please. The best thing everybody can do here is in an orderly way leave. Would you please do that? Just in an orderly way, clear the room.
Kennedy has been shot, along with 1 or 2 others. They're on the ground. The back room right now, they're calling for a doctor. There's 1 doctor back there. They need another doctor. His condition, I don't know. His wife, Ethel, is with him. That's all we can say now, but a couple of people have been shot, along with Robert Kennedy, now lying on the floor behind the embassy room here in the Ambassador Hotel.
Any doctors in the room, please?
Once again, doctors are being called for to go in the area directly behind the platform and through the kitchen.
Shortly after the speech, Senator Kennedy left the podium, went out through an entranceway behind the podium as if going to the kitchen, and there he was shaking hands with some of the kitchen help. And that's when the shooting took place.
Oh my gosh. What was that like to be here when that transpired?
It's one of those things you just can't explain because, first of all, the impossible happened. This doesn't happen in this day and age. Camera crews are at the Ambassador all over the place. Coverage is over. And 15 seconds before, we said, okay, let's shut it down. And so we stopped. All of a sudden, we later, Chuck Bowman yelled, something's going on here, get back here, get back. And we had no idea what it was. And then when we went back, just moments before the crowd there realized what had happened, and the screaming and the yelling and the tears and the running around, it was just absolutely chaotic. And there was just no answer. No one knew what to do. How could this happen? And we didn't know at that point, really, was he really shot? Was he killed? Where was he? How did it happen with all these people? It's one of those things that just eats you for hours and days before you recover.
Did you and KTLA stay on until those questions were resolved?
Yes, we were on for, and I can't tell you how long now, but we stayed on as we do, Frank, this all the breaking stuff. Then we had cameras out at the hospital. We followed there. We followed the doctors, the investigation that went on. So it was a full one of those marathon news coverage things. And interesting enough, most of the other stations had their equipment there. Their broadcast was over. They were just getting ready to leave when this happened. So the whole country just instantaneously suffered through that.
And Stan, today, as you were mentioning, we would do wall-to-wall coverage. Everybody knows, and we've got so many trucks, and everybody sends them all out, and you stay on the air for so long. But in that day, you guys were really setting the standard, saying this is how it should be done.
That's it, and we knew that we were the breaking news story station. And everybody there, look there, the 4 or 5 of those reporters. Larry Shear was the copter pilot. Chuck Bowman was another, just a tough reporter. And they, every time, new information, so-and-so's here, this is going on there. And then the long night wait of how's he doing and the reports from the doctors.
Just getting away from that particular incident, you were just telling me an interesting thing. We were watching the fires, and you were saying in those days, and during the riots especially, you guys stayed a little closer to the police station and near the police officers than we do venture as reporters now.
Yes.
But the difference was that KTLA had a helicopter in the air. Nobody else did. So we covered it from a perspective that nobody else had.
Yeah, it was 10 years before anybody else had a helicopter. I've never understood that. So we had the whole city, and Larry Shear, so help me, he could talk for a full month and never repeat himself. He was so great,
And it was at Klaus. Whose idea was it to do a helicopter?
Well, this actually was John Silva, who was our chief engineer. He and Klaus worked very close together. Klaus died, and one of the first things that John did secretly was to build the helicopter. And they didn't want other people to know about it, so they used a little garage behind somebody's house, put the helicopter together. Nobody knew about it until we announced that we have a flying television station.
Stan Chambers shares so many more of these stories. The book is called KTLA's News at 10,
cover of the book.
60 Years with Stan Chambers. There is the book. And that, of course, is in stores now.
Watching this video with you, Stan, is an extraordinary experience. And I know reading the book and reading your words will be a fantastic...
And the good part, the only place you can get this book is on KTLA.
How about that?
It won't be on the stands till the first of the year, so just KTLA.com, and then it says, there's all those choices, and there it is.
There you can pose with your book. There we go.
It's so great today to see all of these things actually happen and to know that so many of them are there in the book.
Absolutely.
And as you write in there, the local news is the people's news. It's fantastic.
KTLA discovered that real early, Frank. Is that true?
All right. Thank you so much, Stan.
Thank you. And this is a great morning to sit here and see the whole history of LA go before us.
It really is. What a treat.
Good to have you with us. All right, coming up, I'll look back at some of the major names to come through the KTLA studio.
We're going to show you just some of the highlights from some of those conversations just a little later.
Plus, a look at some of the major earthquakes of the past 60 years. Bill Smith joins us live with that.
It took him 10 years before anybody else.
And here's a pick from Frank Buckley's playlist, Rock Lobster from the B-52s.
Clippers basketball. You belong here. The Clips take their offensive show on the road as they gear up for a battle with Denver's dynamic duo of Melo and Iverson. Clippers Nuggets, Friday at 7:30 on KTLA, the CW. KTLA's 60-hour retro marathon is brought to you by Morongo Casino Resort and Spa.
It's the season to shop, and the Red Tags are coming back for the GMC Red Tag event. And right now, they're bringing the best values of the season. Look for the Red Tag and get 0% financing for 60 months on remaining 2007 GMC light-duty trucks and SUVs while supplies last. That's 0% financing for 5 full years on new 2007 GMC models for an average finance savings of $7,268 on the Yukon XL. The Red Tag event. See some red, save some green.
Give your home the gift of new carpet this holiday season and save 50%. Call Empire today during our Home for the Holidays sale. We'll bring samples right to your home, where it's easy to match colors and styles to your decor. And we'll install your new carpet next day. You'll save 50%, plus make no payments till 2009. You'll even get a free turkey. So call Empire today. Give your home the gift of new carpet and save 50% now.
800-588-2300 Empire.
Today.
I did it. I did it too. I lost 105 pounds in just 9 months.
I went from a size 14 to a size 4. Ask me how good that feels.
Lindora is California's #1 medical weight control program. We can help you lose weight rapidly, safely, and without surgery. Whether you want to lose 10, 50, 100 pounds or more, call the experts you can trust right now.
I lost my weight with Lindora. What are you waiting for?
Get up to 3 weeks free. Call 1-800-LINDORA today.
Saab was founded by 16 aircraft engineers, and their spirit lives on in designs that take performance to the next level. Introducing the new 2008 Saab 9-3 Sport Sedan. It's more jet-inspired than ever. Fly home for the holidays for the best offers of the season. See your local Saab dealer today.
XM, 170 channels to find what turns you on.
You donate hard-earned money for a good cause, but the charity only gets pennies of what you gave.
People are getting ripped off.
Chip Yost investigates who really gets your money tonight on KTLA Prime News. Catch the latest Gossip Girl, all new this Wednesday at 9 on KTLA. This traffic report is brought to you by Diet Pepsi.
Good morning. I'm Commander Chuck Street up in the Pepsi Copter. We have a new accident in Van Nuys. It's on the 405 freeway southbound at Sherman Way. That's a 3-vehicle smash-up. You can see traffic is pretty heavy anyway from Roscoe as you head up into that Sepulveda Pass. 91 freeway westbound also heavy this morning. We have a 4-vehicle smash-up on the West 91 at Central in the Compton area. That West 91 has been very heavy this morning from Lakewood Boulevard over to the scene and then down in Orange County on the 5 southbound at the 91. That's a wreck involving 2 cars. That's the latest on the freeways. As I look along the horizon today, we have beautiful weather here in the basin. Let's check with Mark Kriske and find out how long this is going to last.
Oh, thank you very much, Commander Chuck. He had his 4 days off, but not really. He was in here on Friday. Good to see Commander Chuck, and he's got his big Christmas party coming up. Yes. All right, let's have a look at what is going on in the weather forecast across the Southland. Beautiful weather today. We've got some wild weather happening on the East Coast and major delays if you're traveling LaGuardia Airport particularly, and also JFK. There's some delays, so check with your carrier. Looking at some of the temperatures across the board, everything in the 60s. For the beaches, predominantly 70s anywhere downtown and in through the valleys, mid-70s all the way across the board. It's going to be a great, great day. Monday, back to work, back to school, back to doing some cyber shopping. Today is the big day on the internet. Save, save, save. 79 to 77 degrees, mostly clear for today and tomorrow in through the San Fernando Valley. We're looking at temperatures about 78. It's by Friday we might see a little bit of a trough moving into the area, possibly bringing in some showers, definitely bringing in clouds and cooler temperatures. That's what you can expect. In through the San Fernando Valley, as we said, starting out today, though, 79 degrees. Orange County, the beach area is 68 to 67. Wednesday, 70. Thursday, 68. And then on Friday, also a slight chance of rain moving into the area with a temperature at about 65 degrees. Great weekend in the Southland. Winds are dying down and the sun is back up.
All right, Mark.
You got it.
Thanks, Mark.
Well, most of us have come to accept the fact that earthquakes are a part of life here in Southern California and part of KTLA's news coverage since our beginning.
Bill Smith is live from Palmdale this morning as our retro coverage looks at 60 years of earthquakes. Good morning, Bill.
Yes, good morning to you both. We are at the San Andreas Fault. In case you're wondering where that is, and it's 800 miles long, but we are at the San Andreas Fault here. It is kind of lost in the clutter of urban Palmdale down there. The San Andreas Fault wraps peacefully around the top north side of Lake Palmdale. Peacefully, and California hopes that San Andreas will stay that way. And today, just like always, since KTLA's very beginning, we are and always have been on Quake Watch. Right now, KTLA is celebrating its 60th anniversary, 60 years, but that's not much in earthquake time.
Well, we've had some pretty good ones in the last 60 years, but the repeat time of, say, an earthquake on the San Andreas is more like 200 years.
Caltech seismologist Kate Hutton. The San Andreas, seen here through some satellite and computer animation, is the lurking big one. Lurking but likely sooner or later. However, the more typical threat is seen through the 1994 Northridge quake. Far smaller than the San Andreas quake would be, still 6.7 killed 60. A survivor of the quake telling KTLA.
The refrigerator in our kitchen just blew out into the living room. I mean, stuff was shaking, the walls were cracking. There's no walls in our apartment any longer. It was just an incredible thunder. I'm just glad to be alive.
Now, this new Caltech computer analysis shows the spread of shock waves from a recent quake near Palm Springs. The animation really helps design buildings that won't so easily come crashing down.
Waves are simulated on a supercomputer, so we can figure out exactly what will happen at each location, and then engineers can use that to design better structures.
That quest for better building codes began with the 1933 Long Beach quake, rethinking how we build things. Long Beach 33, a 6.4, it killed 55, was a little before KTLA's 1947 beginnings, but part of our quake history just the same. Susan Huff of the National Geologic Survey. In television terms, 60 years for KTLA, that's a long time, but in earthquake years?
No, and that's one of the problems we have, is that 60 years is nothing in geologic terms.
Still, the 1952 Tehachapi quake, with KTLA's coverage of this 7.3 quake that killed 12. And then barely another click of the geologic clock sends KTLA News to the 1971 Sylmar quake, 6.6, it killed 55.
It just shook and shook and shook, and the wall just opened up. It scared those, out of me.
And all of these quakes led to this earlier reminder from now Lieutenant Governor John Garamendi, then California Insurance Commissioner.
85% of the homes in California do not have earthquake coverage. 12 years ago, they did.
And even the KTLA clock seems to tick slowly as we follow the scientific search for answers.
To some extent in the last 60 years, we've really learned more about how much we don't know.
But from just the latest in decades of KTLA News covering earthquake research, technology now uses the past to understand the future.
You can see from the display behind me, if a magnitude 7.5 earthquake were to happen on a fault, we're pretty good at predicting what the ground's going to do right here. And for the purposes of preparedness and safety, it's really that's what's really important.
And with KTLA at the freeway collapse in 1994, this example of how quickly a quake can strike out of nowhere. A driver in the Newhall Pass telling KTLA News.
I couldn't see the bridge fell down, so I just hit right into the bridge.
Which brings us to quake predictions. Knowing about the Northridge quake in advance would have allowed these cars to be moved out of the garage. Well, KTLA has been asking Caltech and the National Geologic Survey the question for years. The question, what about forecasting earthquakes? Well, here's where the answer to that question stands today.
We thought earthquakes might be predictable soon back in the 70s. We've really learned that things are complicated, and we haven't gotten anywhere with prediction per se, which is what everybody, of course, is looking for.
We have a pretty good idea what earthquakes are possible in California and about how often they happen, each one on each particular fault, but we don't know when.
And for those of us who love the postcard California coast and the Technicolor sunshine of our beloved quake country, here is the other big question. Should we pack up and move, or do you give us permission to stay?
No, I would not pack up and move. I mean, we have some of the best building codes, if not the best building codes in the world, because they've been a concern going back to the 1930s. And so California is really quite well prepared for earthquakes. We just need to be vigilant and remember that they're a possibility.
Besides, living in earthquake country has made us pretty good at picking up the pieces. Bill Smith, KTLA News. In fact, let me add to that because some of the people at Caltech have told us just to put things like the San Andreas Fault in perspective for you. Well, they say that a big eruption along the San Andreas Fault, a big break, would be about the equivalent of having 15 Northridge quakes strung along in a big long line down the San Andreas. That is what they keep their eye on. You know, the basics have remained the same in covering television like this, using television to cover earthquakes from Stan Chambers' day when Stan and his colleagues invented all of this. The basics are the same. The technology has changed a bit, and that's for the better. Now we can be more places more quickly and often get pictures out of places where you couldn't before with the satellite trucks. They make all the difference in the world. You don't have mountains and things in the way because they're shooting at a satellite 22,000 miles out in space. So the technology has changed, but thanks to Stan Chambers and his great colleagues, the basics remain the same. Live from Palmdale, Bill Smith, back to Hollywood.
All right, Bill, that's right. Got to get the story straight and get the facts right. Thank you very much.
Same thing, yep.
All right, coming up, actor Adrian Pasdar is here.
He is from Heroes, and the star talks about his hit show and a whole lot more when he joins us next hour.
Plus, Christmas came early for Hollywood. We'll take you to last night's Santa Parade.
And we are listening to music from Kurt Knudsen's playlist. The cyber guy has picked Ride from Gabriel Mann.
Put your mind at ease. In the
KTLA's 60-hour Retro Marathon is brought to you by Carl's Jr.
Stan, customer waiting. Stan, customer waiting on the lot.
Portobello mushroom $6 burger, fries, and a Coke. Don't bother me. I'm eating. The Portobello mushroom $6 burger. Back at Carl's Jr.
It's Ford's year-end celebration, our biggest event, with the best offers of the year on Mustang, the best-selling sports car in America. Mustang GT delivers 300 horses of pure American muscle, and it's the highest-ranked midsize sporty car in initial quality by J.D. Power & Associates. Now lease a Mustang for only $299 per month with zero first month's payment, zero security deposit, and zero due at signing. Visit your local Ford dealer today.
Chia. Now there's a chia for everyone in your family. Chia Pets, gourmet chia herb garden, and chia cat grass. Chia Pets are fun and easy. Spread the seeds, water, and watch it grow.
Chia.
The gourmet chia herb garden contains everything you need to grow fresh herbs. Soak the sponge, sprinkle on the herb seeds, and watch it grow. And what's the perfect gift for cat lovers? Chia cat grass, the healthy treat that kitties can't resist. Chia, the original gift that grows.
Available at Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, and Kmart.
In high school, I didn't like going to school because it was boring to me. It's not something that I was fascinated in. I guess you have to love to do what you do. I love criminal justice, so I love learning about it. It gave me like a second chance. The knowledge that I came out with is all worth it. It felt great because I achieved something.
If she can do it, you can do it. Pick up the phone and call right now and start on the road to a rewarding career and a better life. So call.
Call Everest College for a brochure now at 1-800-561-2781. That's 1-800-561-2781.
Have you ever led an expedition? Have you ever been honored by the Louvre? Have you ever protected nobility? Have you ever seen the curvature of the earth? Range Rover, designed for the extraordinary.
A crowd estimated by police at 125,000 to 150,000 people watched the Hollywood Santa Parade. Bob Barker was the Grand Marshal for the parade. He was joined on the parade route by Jamie Farr, Tony Plana, Dick Van Patten, Menudo, Fred Willard, Mayor Antonio Villaraigosa, and others. Last March, the Hollywood Chamber of Commerce announced it would no longer hold the Hollywood Christmas Parade. The city of Los Angeles raised money to hold a parade this year and pledged to do the same next year. You can see the parade Sunday, December 16th at noon on KTLA.
After 2 straight losses, the Lakers were hoping to surf the Nets for a win at Staples Center. Too bad New Jersey hit the delete button.
You better go there. On kid, Sasha free. He wants the lead. He's got the lead.
Sasha Vujacic 3 with 1:28 left puts the Lakers up by 2 after Kobe misses a potential tying free throw with 6 seconds left. Vladimir Radmanovic comes up short at the buzzer, and so do the Lakers. 102-100. Meanwhile, the Clippers return to the court tonight to host Yao Ming and the Rockets. Game time, 7:30. In the final of the inaugural Anaheim Classic, USC routs number 19 Southern Illinois 70-45. Davon Jefferson scores a game-high 18 points for the Trojans. Tournament MVP O.J. Mayo pumps in 13.
To the NFL, the Chargers hand the Ravens a franchise record 5th straight loss, 32-14. The Raiders beat the Chiefs 2017, and the Patriots improved to 11-0 with a 31-28 win over the Eagles. On Monday Night Football, it's going to be a mismatch on paper, at least, as the winless Dolphins face the Steelers in Pittsburgh. Somebody's a Dolphins fan. To college football, in the latest BCS standings, Missouri has claimed the top spot, followed by West Virginia, Ohio State, Georgia, and Kansas. USC moves up 3 spots to 8th.
All right, still ahead on our broadcast today, Brady Bunch alum Christopher Knight joins us.
He and his wife, Adrienne Curry, talk about their reality show Romance when they join us at 9.
And Republican candidates get ready to answer to YouTube questions. We'll show you some of the offbeat questions voters are submitting. Right now, we're listening to Jefferson Starship, Mark Kriske, and Runaway. Runaway.
KTLA's 60-hour Retro Marathon is brought to you by SoCalChevy.com.
This Thanksgiving season, everything changes. The Chevy Red Tag event is blowing into town. Now get 0% financing for 60 months for well-qualified buyers on every 07 Chevy pickup, while supplies last. 0% financing on pickups like Silverado Crew Cab, which comes with the safety and security of OnStar standard for 1 year. That's $5,805 in average finance savings for all 07 Silverado pickups.
My friend Jack knows the capital of all 50 states, Texas.
Awesome.
Right on, little partner. When Jack's parents found out he had leukemia, their doctors turned to St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Our pioneering research has increased the survival rate of the most common childhood leukemia to 94%. What's the capital of Alaska?
Juneau.
No, I don't know. That's why I asked you.
Give thanks to the healthy kids in your life and give to those who are not. Go to stjude.org or shop wherever you see our magnifying glass.
It's that magical time of year. Get a special lease offer on a powerfully luxurious E350 sports sedan at the Mercedes-Benz Winter Event, now through January 2nd. There's never been a better time to get that Mercedes-Benz on your wish list.
Big choices are easy at your Subway restaurant.
Taste the carne asada steak sub, made in authentic style with marinated beef steak grilled to a tender, flavorful perfection with a half pound on a foot-long sub. Que sabor!
Try the hot pastrami sub. Delicious, full-flavor, traditional beef pastrami. And you get a big half pound of hot pastrami on a foot-long.
So come to a Subway restaurant today.
Carne asada.
Pastrami.
Can't decide? Try both. Subway. Eat fresh.
Happy Honda days are here again, which means your Honda dealer is offering great deals on every car in stock. This holiday season is the perfect time to get into a new Accord, popular Civic, fun-loving Fit, or any Honda you desire. Just choose your favorite color and think Honda for the holidays. Lease a Honda Civic for $199 a month for well-qualified customers.
Chris finds a new friend, but it's more than he bargained for.
Solidarity, right? I think I just joined a gang.
Everybody Hates Chris, tonight at 8 on KTLA.
Good morning, I'm Michaela Pereira. The Corral fire in Malibu is 90% contained, but the investigation continues into the cause. We'll have the latest numbers for you on that fire.
Good morning, I'm Frank Buckley. Our Retro Marathon continues this morning with a look back at some of the interesting interviews we've done here over the past 60 years at KTLA.
Gail Anderson is live this morning at Florence in Normandy with a view of the LA riots 15 years later.
Also, YouTube users submit their questions for this week's Republican debate.
And Adrian Pastar from Heroes joining us live to talk about his new musical. Today is Monday, November 26th, 2007.
Live from Hollywood, this is the KTLA Morning Show.
Well, sticking with our retro theme, I have to give a little shout out to my baby sister, who it's her birthday today. She's not old, she's retro.
Well, let's have a shout out to your beehive as well. Which
I went as high
enjoying.
as I could, as high as I could. We are taking a look back over the 60 years of broadcasts here at KTLA. We've had Stan Chambers with us this morning, and it's been really a fantastic look at the past here in Los Angeles.
Yeah, and Mark Kriski's been with us since the beginning as well.
Yeah, since the beginning of
Before
time,
the
my
television.
friend. Yeah, you know what? I wanted to wear my Olivia Newton-John getting physical sweatband and that kind of stuff, but they just didn't let me do it. You know, they just stopped me at the door and said no. My leg warmers and everything. Let's have a look at weather, instant traffic. Wow, what a great weekend, though. Great television here at KTLA. Watching some of those shows. Loved it. And you know what? It doesn't matter if it's in black and white, high def, color, stereo. Good TV is good TV.
That's right.
And that's all that matters. High today, 74, 77 for the valleys and inland. Just a beautiful, beautiful day. Mostly clear skies. Winds are dying down. And we do have a little bit of a storm on the horizon. Details coming up. Let's go to Jessica in the KTLA telecopter.
Guys, good morning. We wanted to bring you some aerial shots of Malibu just to kind of give you a sense of what happened over the weekend. These fires started, of course, we all know, middle of the night Saturday and Friday night into Saturday, and 80 structures lost, 53 homes. We're right over Latigo Canyon. And look at this. We just spotted this. Several homes lost right there. Then right next to it, that one untouched. And then on the other side of that house, once again, devastation, completely lost. I would say 4 to 5 homes on this street alone. And it's just amazing to see a beautiful day. I mean, here in Malibu, the winds have calmed down. Obviously, they have 90% containment. And over the weekend, about 14,000 people had to leave their homes here. Looks like Malibu is trying to get back to normal today. People are allowed back into their neighborhoods. PCH has reopened. The schools have reopened. But unreal how quickly those fires took off over the weekend and how many homes were lost this morning. But we also want to tell you what's happening with your traffic as well this morning, because we have one thing to get to on the 405 North at Howard Hughes. A 2-car accident there. That is off to the right shoulder, but the 405 back to normal. No more holiday light traffic. Pretty slow drive there as you're heading out on the 405. All right, Frank and Michaela, I'll send it back to you in the studio.
All right. First in the news, as Jessica was mentioning, the Corral fire in Malibu is close to being fully contained today. Improving weather conditions are giving firefighters there the upper hand. Dozens of homes were completely destroyed, as you just saw. Others were severely damaged. The fire started Saturday, forced the evacuation of 14,000 people. Fire officials say it broke out along a dirt road off a paved highway, may have been started by a campfire. Here is the very latest information on the fire. At this point, 90% contained, 4,900 acres have burned. 80 structures, including 53 homes, were destroyed. Another 45 structures were damaged, including 34 homes. 14 vehicles were destroyed in that blaze. Firefighters believe it was caused by human activity, but it is unclear if it was deliberately set.
KTLA's wildfire coverage dates back to 1961, when viewers saw for the first time flames as they look from the air. We've also been on top of other major fires since. Eric Spillman is in Bel Air now with a look back as we continue our retro marathon. Good morning, Eric.
Morning, Frank. KTLA practically invented live coverage of brush fires on TV, beginning with the Bel Air fire of 1961 and continuing through the years.
30 seconds have passed. 30 seconds have passed since that fire broke out right there. Watch it move up the side.
The technology has changed since we began covering brush fires, but the goal is the same. Get close to the action.
Firefighters putting on their goggles
Whoa,
and...
it just exploded.
Okay.
There we go.
We're going to move out of here. You can see what the winds are doing.
Yeah, the embers are all over the place.
Okay, we're going to pull back here.
Maybe a little too close sometimes.
But it is about to cross over the freeway. Look at the flames coming towards the fire trucks there.
And rely on the helicopter for the rest. From the sky, there is nothing so ominous as a wall of fire bearing down on a neighborhood.
You can imagine that this is those flames are going to be really traveling fast up that hillside towards that home.
In the fall of 1993, a firestorm hit Southern California. It lasted for 2 weeks, burning through Altadena, Laguna Beach, and Malibu.
We're only about a mile at the most inland from the coast, and as you can see, all of these homes fully engulfed in flames. Again, I cannot count the exact number for you, but...
Evacuate now. You're in immediate danger. This is Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department. We recommend all people in this area evacuate now.
KTLA stayed on the fires for hours, and it was a team effort. The entire staff, and I do mean everybody, took part.
You'll see the fire and hotspots we were reporting on earlier have actually abated to a large degree.
Stan Chambers covered this one. He's been there for every big brush fire over the years, too many to count. He admits to always feeling a little scared.
I think I had enough training I don't think it showed, but my heart was pumping, especially when the flames were getting bigger.
I felt the same way a number of times.
We're going to spray down this roof here. Sorry, we got to get our equipment out of here, so we're going to move back a little. Begin spraying down the deck, and whoa, God, is it warm.
What I remember the most from my own fire coverage over the years is the image of a fire truck that was overcome by flames on a ridge in Chatsworth in 1993. 3 firefighters were badly burned maybe a quarter of a mile away from where I'd been reporting. Certain things about fires stick with you. You never forget the sense of panic when people flee, the ones who won't leave, the roar of a forest on fire, what a burning home looks and sounds like, how a neighborhood looks afterward, or what it's like to have a chopper do a drop right overhead.
We're going to drop right on top of us. Right on top of us there. We're okay. You knocked that thing out. Woo. Until you've had a helicopter drop water on your head, you haven't really covered a fire. And I can tell you from experience that flame retardant stains clothing forever. But Frank and Michaela, in putting together these pieces on the history of fire coverage at KTLA, you realize what a great and long and proud history we have here at this station. It is unique, and it's great to be a small part of it.
You bet, Eric. And your conversation with Stan, I wish I could have listened in on that. Did you guys compare notes and how things have changed, or have they changed as a reporter covering a brush fire today versus 30, 40 years ago?
Well, he marvels at the technology of today because he remembers when you had these huge unwieldy cameras that you had to roll around and long, thick cables. But really, when you get right down to it, covering a brush fire today is similar to what it was 45 years ago. You try and get as close to the action as you can, and I think he sees that as well. Sometimes you get a little too close.
Yeah, you sure do. Eric, we admire your work. Thank you very much.
We have some breaking news out of Florida. Washington Redskins safety Sean Taylor has been shot in the leg at his Miami home. This happened at 1:45 this morning. This news comes from a statement released by the team and is being confirmed by a local police detective. Taylor was airlifted to Jackson Memorial Hospital, where he is undergoing treatment at this hour. He had been recovering from a knee injury, so he has not played in the last 2 games. Taylor is 24 years old, is in his 4th season in the NFL out of the University of Miami. The Miami-Dade Police Department is investigating that incident.
Los Angeles Mayor Antonio Villaraigosa is expected to announce a plan today that aides say would significantly reduce travel times on Pico and Olympic boulevards. Under the plan, parking would be eliminated on both boulevards during rush hour periods. Then, beginning next year, traffic lights would be retimed so that those traveling west on Olympic and east on Pico would have longer green lights. Aides to the mayor say that if those 2 steps speed up traffic, the city might restripe both boulevards so that most of the lanes on Pico would be eastbound and most of the lanes on Olympic would be westbound. Reports this morning of progress between Israel and Palestine as they prepare for a major peace summit in Washington. According to a delegation member, a joint Israeli-Palestinian statement on the outline of future peace talks is near. President Bush is meeting with both Israeli and Palestinian leaders before the conference kicks off tomorrow. 16 Arab nations will attend the summit, including Syria and Saudi Arabia. Major topics of the conference include Palestinian statehood and disputed border territory.
Republican presidential contenders are going to take part in a YouTube debate on Wednesday. Thousands of questions have already been posted on the video website. Many are on serious issues, and other entries are quite bizarre. Let's give you a sampling.
As president, what will you do to make our country a leader and a role model in the fight against global warming and climate change?
Do you believe the American people have the right to know if the U.S. government has knowledge of aliens and UFOs?
Fred Thompson, I want to know, what do you think this painting I did of you? That's a character you play on Law and Order, Arthur Brand.
You're blocking me.
Hey, it don't have
blocking
nothing
my face.
I did this painting. I don't do too much painting, but I thought you might like this and enjoy this. Hey, I
don't want to see my face.
Hey, don't nobody want to see you.
Well, if you want to get a question in, you still have time. You can go to CNN.com/YouTube to post one.
Christmas officially arrives in Washington today. The national Christmas tree will be delivered to the U.S. Capitol this morning. The 55-foot balsam fir was cut from the Green Mountain National Forest 2 weeks ago. The national tree, also known as the People's Tree, will be decorated with ornaments from all 50 states. The lighting ceremony takes place next Wednesday.
All right, the People's Tree will be delivered to the Krisky and Buckley houses when?
Is probably in the next week or so.
I wait a little bit later because they just dry out so fast.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, I like having mine still fresh looking at New Year's.
I'm sensing neither of you are taking your axes and going out into the back 40 and cutting down your own.
No, we'll be going to the tree lot.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, let him do the axe work. It's best that Frank and I don't handle axes. Probably best for us and all families involved. You know, the amazing thing, those watching these guys on YouTube and that kind of stuff, the problem is their vote counts just as much as everyone else. They get a ballot, and theirs counts just as much.
It's called democracy.
Yeah, exactly. Let's go to Jessica, the KTLA telecom, to see what's happening.
Scary, huh? Hey, guys, good morning. Beautiful morning. The sun is up. No fog, clouds, any of that deal. We're in the valley over the 101, and let me take you outside, show you what Woodland Hills looks like this morning on the 101. Very slow. You can see the right-hand side there as you're heading towards the 405 freeway. Extremely sluggish. I think speeds were maybe in the teens, maybe low 20s, trying to get up to the 405 this morning. Let's go ahead and get to our maps, though, show you what's going on around town, because we have a couple of things. This is 10 westbound at San Gabriel. 2 cars got into it there. That's blocking the right lane. It looks like the 10's pretty slow through Rosemead and as you're heading over to the 710 freeway. Also, speeds 105 west from the 710 over to the 110, going about 13 miles an hour at 710. Doesn't start off so great. Up to 47 at Wilmington, which ain't too bad, and then 21 miles an hour by the time you get to the 110 freeway. And here, a couple travel times for you this morning. 405 from the 605 to the 55, right around 26 minutes, doubling your average time. And the Santa Ana freeway from the 2257 interchange to the 405, gonna take you right around 23 minutes. Let's go to Commander Chuck Street, who's up in the Pepsi Jet Ranger this morning. Chuck, isn't it pretty out this morning? It's such a beautiful day.
Beautiful day, blue sky, bright sunshine, and a little windy in the valley, but sure, a great day to fly. Maybe not such a good day to drive on that southbound 215 approaching the 10, where we have a wreck in the fast lane as you leave San Bernardino. In the meantime, on the 405 freeway northbound at Howard Hughes Parkway, that's a 2-vehicle collision in that very narrow construction zone. They were trying to get that off to the side. You can see that the north 405 is pretty heavy from the LAX area up towards the Santa Monica freeway. And then how about some speeds for that 55 southbound? You'll be down to 31 miles per hour at KTLA, 24 at the 22, and then 24 at the I-5, but that southbound 55 is accident-free. Finally, just wanted to take this opportunity to extend our warmest wishes and congratulations to Rick and Oscar Smith. They're the proud parents of a new baby girl who was born on Saturday. Rick is the guy that sits in the back seat of our helicopter and points the microwave and switches the cameras, but congratulations to both of you on your firstborn. That's the latest on the freeways. That's the latest on the Smith family. Let's send it back to Mark Krisky and find out about today's beautiful weather.
Oh, look at that. What a beautiful shot. Southwest. What a gorgeous morning here. Look at that. Big, beautiful jet with the mountains in the background, clear skies. That's why we live here in Southern California. Christmas parade yesterday, and just, I mean, people wearing light jackets, if that even. And then, of course, the big granddaddy of them all, the Rose Parade, coming up on New Year's Day. Make sure you catch it right here, live, commercial-free on Channel 5. Clear skies all the way across the Southland, low to the south, one to the north of us. Absolutely beautiful weather today. And even when the helicopter pilots are just raving about how wonderful the weather is, you know it's a great day out there. We can expect the clear skies predominantly to last for the better part of the week. And then by Friday's the first inkling of some weather moving into the area. Clouds moving in on Friday as the trough passes through, and the chance of some showers even moving into the area. It's still 5 days away, but we're going to watch that. So back to school, back to work on this Monday, back to shopping on the internet. If you didn't get enough over the weekend in the stores, you can do it on the internet. 79 degrees in Woodland Hills, 76 in Burbank, 76 in El Monte. Everything pretty well in the mid-70s. Cooler along Santa Monica, the beach areas, Catalina, Avalon at 68 degrees. And then when you head further south, down in through Orange County, 72, 67, and 66. Riverside, San Bernardino, and Hemet, low 70s all the way across. Palm Springs, 74. Big Bear, 51 degrees. Overnights, do we have those temperatures? No. 5-day outlook. Here you go. 5-day outlook, 74 to 72 for today and tomorrow. And then on Friday, a little bit of cloud moving into the area and chance of showers, 69 degrees. Metrovision, 5-day outlook for the Inland Empire. Gorgeous day today, 72, 74 degrees, a little breezy. And then winds possibly picking up on Wednesday in the Inland Empire, gusts up to 45 miles an hour. San Diego, beautiful mid-60s all the way through. Chance of some showers on Friday. Hey, I want to send a special shout out to Christopher Barkis from Norco. Watches the KTLA Morning News every morning. Christopher, thank you, and just keep watching. Good morning. Have a great day. It's beautiful out there. Great day in Norco. Christopher Barkis.
We, of course, Frank and I hosted the parade last night,
Yes.
and there were so many of our morning show viewers that were there and wished us the best of the holiday season. It was really, really a lot of fun.
Yeah, a lot of people, huge crowds.
Yeah, tens of thousands of folks lining up. I was so
Yeah.
happy about that because I was worried that maybe the negative publicity in
Yeah,
the
because
past
the parade
was-
had a little bit of a hiccup,
Right, yeah.
but it's back on, and next year it'll be even bigger and better.
That's what they're saying,
And you
bigger
can
and
catch
better.
it here on the 16th of December, right?
December. You are so plugged in.
Plugged into this, man.
All right, let's check in with Sam, see if he's plugged in too.
We're bringing the wrist masseuses for you guys because that is always the hard part. When you do it. Did you do the crazy 8 wave or
Well,
the
no,
regular
we were
wave?
broadcasting. We were not waving.
Well, there you are. Begin this morning with the tales of 2 cities and 2 big strikes. To New York City, talks continuing with stagehands, theatrical producers. The basic fight in the Broadway strike is over staffing levels. How many stagehands are required to staff a show? Several Broadway shows have been dark during this holiday period, which is bad news for Broadway workers and producers, not to mention audiences. Now to a strike getting even more attention. The Writers Guild strike continues with pickets today, but also today renewed talks, and those talks are surrounded by some exceptional optimism. From her Deadline Hollywood Daily website, reporter Nikki Fink quotes a source as saying simply this: "It's already done," basically. But now, in her own words, Fink adds that before we stop popping champagne corks, maybe an agreement isn't necessarily that close at hand. Nikki writes, "Still, I must caution, this is Hollywood, where defeat is snatched from the jaws of victory nearly every time." And one last strike note, Variety's conducted a survey about the strikes and attitudes surrounding the possibility of a long, long strike. How's that going to affect those who watch television? A full 25% say that if we have an endless rerun season, they will simply do something else besides watching TV. That's what happened with the strike last time. Audiences went away, did not come back. If you watched TV last night, a spicy Desperate Housewives, Bree has a new baby, so the love life could use a lift, and she provides it for her husband, Orson the dentist.
Hello, Doctor. Bree, what a wonderful surprise. I've got a new patient coming in.
Yes, you do. I'm Mrs. Zimmerman.
Your message said you had a cavity that needed filling?
I was in a very naughty mood when I left that.
Drill effect. Later here from Heroes, actor Adrian Pasdar has an important new stage show to talk about. We'll talk about Heroes too. He joins us in just a couple minutes. Good stuff coming up. We'll be right back with that.
All right. We like that drill, Sam.
That clip is hilarious.
All right, thanks. Coming up, we take it back to some of KTLA's most important interviews.
We're going to show you which top newsmakers sat on this very set. Coming up next. Oh, I'm failing on my job here. We've got Down to the Waterline from Dire Straits from Sam Rubin's playlist. We'll be right back.
In the shadow of the cargoes, I take you one time. We're counting all the numbers down to the waterline.
KTLA 60-hour Retro Marathon is brought to you by your Southern California Honda dealers.
It's Happy Honda Days again, and your Honda dealer is offering special deals on 2 great vehicles. The 8-passenger Pilot that can take you and your family almost anywhere, and the big and roomy Odyssey, the best-selling minivan in America. It's your choice. So remember, think Honda for the holidays. Lease a Honda Odyssey for $289 a month for well-qualified customers.
So where you at in your life? Are you here? Or maybe you right here. Maybe you right here. Hey, what about right here? Are you satisfied where you are right now? What do you want out of life? Is this what you want right here at this level? Is this all that there is? Or can you do more? With this, Everest hands-on training by instructors who have actually been in the field. We're talking about changing your life here, right? They're gonna help you and get your resume in order, job interview etiquette, they got your back. For the rest of your life, they're in your corner. But you gotta pick up the phone and make the call. That's the first step. Take the first step.
For top Vegas shows, rooms, and more, just follow the arrow. Vegas.com. Do Vegas right.
This winter, stay away from the woods. Timber Falls goes for maximum drag. And the chills come thick and fast. Timber Falls. Rated R. Coming soon to theaters everywhere. Check local listings.
It's the season to shop, and the Red Tags are coming back for the GMC Red Tag event. And right now, they're bringing the best values of the season. Look for the Red Tag and get 0% financing for 60 months on remaining 2007 GMC light-duty trucks and SUVs while supplies last. That's 0% financing for 5 full years on new 2007 GMC models for an average finance savings of $7,268 on the Yukon XL. The Red Tag event. See some red, save some green.
In preparing for our retro program today, our producers calculated that KTLA has conducted more than 100,000 live interviews since we began broadcasting some 60 years ago. More than half of those took place during the past 15 years with the start of the morning news and the morning show.
It would be impossible to recap a decent fraction of those interviews, but in the process, we learned the quality outweighed the quantity. Here's a look at some retro conversations with political figures.
I was Colin to my parents. That's the more common British pronunciation. But when I was about 5 years old, the beginning of World War II, there was a famous American Irish hero named Colin Kelly, who Roosevelt gave a Distinguished Service Cross to for his valor, gallantry, and the courage in the Pacific. And that family pronounced their name Colin. And since I was living on Kelly Street as well, my friends started calling me Colin. And so I went from Colin to Colin, back and forth, and it stayed that way for almost 50 years. Nobody cared until about 1988 when I became National Security Advisor in the White House, and the White House Press Corps insisted that I pick one version or the other, and I picked Colin.
And you were there the day he was killed.
Yeah, but more important, I think I was there when he decided he was going to assume the leadership of the movement. You know, Martin Luther King was a young man, 25 when he started in Montgomery, and he was sort of dragged into this. It was not until he got to Birmingham that he really decided to take charge. And how he came of age, knowing, I think, from the very beginning that once he assumed the leadership of this movement aggressively, that it would mean his death.
When I was a kid, you were asking before we got on the show whether I wanted to be president at the age of 7 or something. I was actually kind of a goof-off. I was the usual teenage knucklehead.
How's it been to leave New York in your post?
By the time we got to September 11, I was really looking forward to moving on and doing other things. And then when September 11 happened, the terrible attack, it was like almost like another 4 years in office.
Suppose bin Laden is turned over today. Well, who will hold him? That's negotiations. Who will be the lawyers? What will be the rules of evidence? Who will be the judges? Will we live with the outcome?
First of all, let's run them down. Hillary Clinton.
I was in college 39 years ago when Martin Luther King was killed and then Bobby Kennedy was killed. The leading candidates that we've got, including a Hispanic governor, an African-American senator, and a woman United States senator running for president of the United States, all serious candidates. I think it's extraordinary.
There was still this hopefulness that Dick Reardon was going to be running for governor. What were you feeling? What were you thinking then? Did you feel betrayed by Arnold at that point?
Every day I talked to him on the phone. He said he wasn't going to run, but I said, you got to run. We need you. And I don't have the fire in the belly that you have. And then finally he said he's going to run. I was surprised, but I was very pleasantly surprised.
You say what effectively brought you and Arnold together was his sense of humor, that initially people in your family thought you were kidding.
Well, I think a lot of people thought I was kidding, and I sometimes looked in the mirror and thought, maybe I am kidding, but I mean, because he was so different.
Mayor Villaraigosa, can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you.
Can you tell us what exactly happened this morning, sir?
Well, I came upon an accident that looked like it had occurred within, seconds of arriving a truck up across the embankment about 3 other cars along the road. We thought it was a pretty serious accident. It turned out that the occupant of the truck was okay, disoriented, but okay, and wheelbarrow in the middle of the freeway, so I had to take that out and put it to the side.
Everybody in the studio, everybody listening in the world has gone to bed one night or another with fear or pain or loss or grief or terror. And yet, amazingly, each one of us who has awakened, arisen, seen another human being and said, "Morning, how are you?" "Fine, thanks, and you?"
I would have paid so much to have been there with Maya Angelou. I just admire her so much. Next hour, we're going to have more conversations with America's leaders and even some broadcast legends.
Yeah,
this is really something else. Coming up, one of the stars of this weekend's Retro Marathon, the Brady Bunch's Chris Knight is here this morning.
He and his wife, Adrienne Curry, join us at 9 for the Hot Topics.
Up next, hero star Adrian Pasdar stops by. But first, we're going to listen to a little Shakira. Janet Hill, our producer, has picked this objection. Let me try that again. Objection.
KTLA's 60-hour Retro Marathon is brought to you by SoCalChevy.com.
This Thanksgiving season, everything changes. The Chevy Red Tag event is blowing into town. And while supplies last, well-qualified buyers now get 0% financing for 60 months on Chevys like the HHR, Equinox, Trailblazer, and Tahoe with its best-in-class available fuel economy. That's $78.15 in average finance savings.
Clap on! When you don't want to clap, get the Clapper Plus. Now with a portable remote control. Have the switch always handy. Turn on the light. Or choose your perfect location to mount the remote. Turn on the music. The Clapper Plus works from anywhere, even through windows and walls. Clap on! Or switch on. The Clapper Plus.
Available at Walgreens, Kmart, and participating Ace and True Value.
Happy Honda days are here again, which means your Honda dealer is offering great deals on every car in stock. This holiday season is the perfect time to get into a new Accord, popular Civic, fun-loving Fit, or any Honda you desire. Just choose your favorite color and think Honda for the holidays. Lease a Honda Accord for $259 a month for well-qualified customers.
With all the shopping that comes with the holidays, who has time to shop for new floors? You do. It's Empire's hassle-free holiday sale. Right now, you can save 50% on hardwood, laminate, and ceramic tile flooring. We'll bring a great selection to choose from and install next day. You'll save 50% with no payments till 2009. Even get a free turkey. Get new floors in no time with no hassles. Call now.
800-588-2300 Empire.
Today.
When your Jeep dealer unveils the most exciting sales event of the year, we want everyone to know about it. Announcing the Jeep event of a lifetime. For a limited time, get 0% financing on 2008 models, all backed by our best-in-the-business lifetime powertrain warranty. Now get 0% APR financing plus $1,000 bonus cash on Grand Cherokee and Commander. Hurry to your Jeep dealer. This event ends soon.
The traffic report is brought to you by Mountain Dew. When you get in your car, rely on the KTLA Traffic Companion by Traffic Gauge for real-time bird's-eye view of traffic conditions for less than $50. Go to ktla.com/traffic for your KTLA discount.
Good Monday morning, Jessica Holmes here live in the KTLA Telecopter. Hope you had a great holiday weekend. The traffic is back. Hate to tell you this, but the 101 is back to normal. That is your eastbound drive as you're heading towards the 405 freeway. And that's what it looks like actually on the westbound side too. And the 405 is pretty sluggish as you head over the hill this morning. Let's go ahead and get to our map, but it's a beautiful morning. That's the good part. It is a pretty morning out there. 22 eastbound at Harbor. We have a 2-car accident there. Number 1 lane is blocked, but speeds are doing really good there for the 22 east through Garden Grove. 10 west at 9th Street, accident there. Number 1 lane blocked. And let's see the 10. The 10 is looking pretty spectacular, actually, right around the 215 freeway. Let's go to Commander Chuck Street, who's up in the Pepsi Jet Ranger this morning. Chuck.
Thank you. I got to tell you about an accident that nobody's thankful for on the 57 freeway. It's near Cal State University Fullerton. It's the 57 freeway southbound at Nutwood. That's a wreck involving a bobtail truck and a car. In Irvine, an accident involving several vehicles on the I-5 northbound at Culver, and they just called for a whole squadron of tow trucks to respond to that spot on the North 5 at Culver. That's your freeway update on this beautiful morning here in Los Angeles. Let's send it back to Mark Kriske and find out about the weather forecast for the next couple of days.
Okay, thank you very much, Commander Chuck. And the weather forecast for the next couple of days, beautiful. Weekend was nice, a little breezy in some areas, but generally nice. Temperatures actually warming up a couple of degrees today and tomorrow. 52 degrees at the moment in Palmdale, 56 degrees USC campus downtown. Fullerton at 57, same story in Santa Ana. 5-day outlook for the San Fernando Valley, 79, close to that 80-degree mark, mostly clear. Tuesday, 77. Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, 78, 76, and 71 degrees. Metrovision coastal area, 5-day outlook, 68 and 67. Wednesday, 70. Thursday and Friday, 68 and 65 degrees. Beautiful weather. Coming up, the Anchor Challenge, we got a great prize. It is Christmas. And, well, just about Christmas, the holiday season. And ho, 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 we're giving you your Christmas gift a little bit early. Today's Anchor Challenge will win a Las Vegas getaway for 2. Cool. Sam, you're dialed into this, man. Your prize includes round-trip airfare for 2, a 2-night stay at the Rio All-Suite Hotel and Casino, as well as 2 tickets to see Penn and Teller live at the Rio. Man, this is a great prize courtesy of Penn and Teller and KTLA. The guys got together and, you know.
That was nice. That was nice.
Penn Gillette, he's been on our show a few times.
That's right.
Teller came, not so good, doesn't speak, you know.
Teller's not a good guest.
Not a great guest. We only realized that. We booked him for an hour, and it was like inside the actor's studio. Half an hour in, we figured out this isn't going well. But it took us half an hour. All right, if you want to, let's get back to it. You want to play the Anchor Challenge, go to ktla.com/Anchor Challenge. Give us a little bit of information. We'll take it, sell it, and give us a little bit of information, and we may call you one more. We will not sell your information.
We won't.
We won't.
Maybe.
Maybe.
All right. Thanks very much, Mark.
You know what? Adrian Pasdar has committed the media hat trick of all time, a hit TV show, an exciting and ambitious new musical, plus a giant article in the Los Angeles Times. It couldn't be better. Did you see your big profile?
Yeah.
But you look kind of menacing.
You know, that was the very end of the photo shoot, and I was like, no, we have it already. Of course, that's the one they used.
Right.
You know?
Anyway, we'll talk about Atlanta, which is opening this week. There's the picture right there. So many things going on with you. Let's talk about Heroes first, obviously, though. I mean, you've been on other programs. I was talking about Prophet, which was such a great ahead-of-its-time show. This show is hit in such a big way. Are people going, what's happening to Nathan next? I mean, you find you're approached all the time?
Yeah, I think people have kind of focused on who their favorite character is, and whoever it is, there's so much to offer for that show. It's kind of, it's a very enormous piece of entertainment to be a part of.
Are you a good secret keeper?
I have to be. On the cover page of every script, it indicates that if you choose to share any of this information that's in the script, you may not be asked to come back.
No, they read this stuff and they're not kidding.
No. There's no joke. It's our family is only as strong as the secrets we keep. Is what it's. What it says. On
I like
the cover
that.
page. So yeah, it's under threat of unemployment.
Writers and producers are meeting at 10 o'clock this morning, so hopefully they will sort things out. At the moment, though, where are you vis-a-vis that?
Well, I mean, this business generates $20 million a day, which we're missing in this industry, and it trickles down. It affects everybody. So, and the idea of it being a DVD issue is kind of funny because I don't think DVDs are going to be around in 5 years. So it's a share of the profits. They don't want more money. They want a higher percentage of money that's made, and I think it's a fair ask because it's going to come down to SAG next, which is the third largest union in America, and then the DGA. It's all going to be impacted. So if this doesn't get resolved, it's going to affect everything next summer. What we watch on TV and at the movie theaters is going to change significantly if this doesn't get resolved soon.
Well said. I don't know if A relates to B, but your wife is Natalie Maines with the Dixie Chicks, and one of a lyricist that you met through her worked with you on this musical, or how did?
Yeah, he was writing. They were working together for one of their albums. We had a dinner party at our house, and I like to do the dishes. Generally, a lot of good stuff comes out of that, better than using the dishwasher. He was joining me. I shared the story I've had in my heart since I was 15, looking out of the cloudy window at history class, kind of daydreaming about the Civil War. I shared it with him, and he had an idea to take it to the next level involving music. And I said, "Well, run with it. See what you can do." He's an amazing individual and a terrific songwriter, Marcus Hummin. And together we've created this piece that we're very proud to debut at the Geffen.
It's going to be premiering at the Geffen on Wednesday night. It's called Atlanta. How long from that dishwashing conversation to premiere night?
I think it's been close to 6-7 years. Which is a long time to wait for something to open up. The schedule at the Geffen was such that we had to fit it in when it was appropriate there, and it was the right thing to do, to wait, because we've had basically sold out houses so far in previews. We open this Wednesday, and it's a great story. It's topical, it's relevant, it's about romance and racism with the backdrop of the Civil War, and it addresses those issues in a very entertaining fashion. So it's good for all sorts of ages.
And what was it that you were sort of daydreaming about in that history class?
What it would be like to be a Union soldier trapped behind enemy lines. How would you get through that? Mm-hmm. And the choice we made was for this soldier to adopt the Confederate soldier's uniform, and he has to fall in with a Southern troop in order to survive. So now one minute he's fighting for the North, and now he's got to fight for the South just to stay alive.
Oh, man.
So, he gets, it's worked out very well, and he has to confront the issues that, why he joined up to fight. It wasn't to abolish slavery, which Lincoln, stated early on that if it would have taken legalizing slavery to unify the country, that's what he would have done. Abolishing it is ultimately what he chose to unify the country. He wanted to unify the states. So the soldier reflects a little bit of that. Why he's there is not exactly why you think he's there to fight. But he comes to terms with who he is and his impact on the world around him in a very significant manner. And it's done beautifully through the performances of the actors and the music that Marcus has written. It's just a stunning piece.
Well, I'm sure your direction has something to do with it.
Well, at a certain point, direction, you put all the ingredients in and stir it up. It's an actor's medium stage. Once the curtain goes up, there's nothing you can do. So thank heavens we have a tremendously talented cast, and it's just a joy to watch them lay it out every night.
Well, Adrian, you've got a lot going on. Geffen Playhouse, we should tell you, is in Westwood. Wonderful venue right across from UCLA on LeConte. Atlanta is booked from November the 20th to, that was for previews. The opening officially is Wednesday night, to January the 6th. Ticket information at 310-208-5450. The advance write-ups have been just terrific.
Congratulations.
We're eager to see that as well. And I know you're very psyched up that Christopher Knight from the Brady Bunch and Adrian Curry are coming here live after 9. And we'll talk to them as well. They are toured Russia, apparently, together. Nice to see you.
Should we test him
Thanks for your time.
Should we test him on Hero's Secret Key?
Sure, go ahead.
So what's going to happen in the next episode?
As soon as we go off the air, I'll tell you.
Oh.
Good. Perfect.
Good to see you, Adrian.
Thank you.
Coming up.
Very good.
That was very good.
Well,
And don't think Jack Coleman didn't fall for that.
did he let something go?
He let something slip. Coming up, it was one of the most televised events in Los Angeles history. Gail Anderson takes us back with a look at the LA riots.
She's live in South LA with a look at how KTLA covered the riots. Hi, Gail.
Yes, we're at the intersection of Florence and Normandy. This morning is just another work week, but on April 29th, 1992, this is where 6 days of rioting began. Has much changed? We talk with the people who live and work in the neighborhood to get their opinion. We'll be right back.
And we continue our retro news coverage with some retro music as well. Here is The Drifters from Lou Parker's playlist, Under the Boardwalk.
Under the boardwalk, boardwalk.
When Chrysler unveils the most exciting sales event of the year, we want everyone to know about it. Announcing the Chrysler event of a lifetime. For a limited time, get 0% financing on 2008 models, all backed by our best in the business lifetime powertrain warranty. Now get 0% APR financing plus $1,250 bonus cash on Chrysler 300. Hurry to your Chrysler dealer. This event ends soon.
Saab was founded by 16 aircraft engineers, and their spirit lives on in designs that take performance to the next level. Introducing the new 2008 Saab 9-3 Sports Sedan. It's more jet-inspired than ever. Fly home for the holidays for the best offers of the season. See your local Saab dealer today.
It's the Rat Pack, live at the Sands. It's Frank.
That's why the lady is a tramp.
Sammy.
Old black magic has me in a spell.
And Dean.
And the moon hits your eye.
Complete with a 15-piece big band. They'll be swinging on stage with the gorgeous Borelli sisters. This really is the coolest party in town. December 4th through 16th at the Wilshire Theater, Beverly Hills. Get tickets now at Ticketmaster, BroadwayLA.org, or charge by phone.
The war in Europe is over. The unconditional surrender.
This is our country.
After 89 years in the making, this is our truck. The 2007 Motor Trend Truck of the Year. The all-new Chevy Silverado.
KTLA Television, Los Angeles.
Coming up tomorrow, comedian Frank Caliendo shows off some of his famed impersonations, plus Bruce Peckman. Bruce Peckman brings us cool new gadgets for under $50, and he shows us his guns. And actress Laurie Holden talks about her new movie, The Mist. That's all tomorrow on the KTLA Morning Show. As part of our 60-hour retro marathon, we're taking a look back at KTLA's coverage of the biggest news event since we first hit the air in 1947.
15 years ago, 4 police officers accused in the videotape beating of Rodney King were all acquitted, setting off the LA riots. Gail Anderson is live in South LA at the very intersection where tensions first boiled over. Good morning, Gail.
Good morning. It's hard to believe it's been that long and that much time has passed. Yeah, we're at the intersections of Florence and Normandy, where, as you said, 15 years ago, April 29th, 1992, 6 days of rioting began at this intersection following the verdict in the Rodney King beating. The statistics staggering. More than 50 people were killed, more than 2,000 injured, more than 10,000 arrested, more than 1,000 buildings damaged or destroyed. We're going to show you some of the KTLA helicopter footage. The damage estimates exceeded $800 million. Among the injured was a gentleman by the name of Reginald Denny, a truck driver who just happened to be in the wrong place at the wrong time. Also, Fidel Lopez, a self-employed Guatemalan gentleman who was conducting his business, again, pulled from his truck and beaten. As you can see from the aerial footage of KTLA coverage at the time, people were roaming the streets, upset, angry, and then, as we're going to show you in this other footage, we have aerial shots. You could see where what started here at Florence and Normandy began to spread throughout the neighborhood, with fires erupting from cars to buildings, apartment buildings, commercial buildings, private homes. We talked with some people in the neighborhood this morning to ask them whether they thought much had changed in the 15 years since this disaster. One gentleman said, absolutely. Another gentleman told us he's not so sure. Take a listen.
A lot has changed since then. We're more active. Things are back up to par. The jobs are back happening again, and it's just a fresh start. It's not happening like it was happening back then. Then it was a bad time. Right now, things are up. Jobs are circulating, and people are back working.
Are you personally doing better than you were in 1992?
Much better. 1992. I own my own job now, my construction business, so that's a blessing in its own self.
I don't see too much different. I'll be honest with you. I don't see too much different at all. Like I said, if I was in control, I think that I would do more with the mayor and with the city councilman. Everybody should come together and just see what need to be done around here.
Again, we're live at the intersection of Normandy and Florence, where 15 years ago the LA riots erupted. We continue to talk with people throughout the morning about their opinions with regard to what happened. And next hour, we're going to take a listen and share with you the conversations we've had with some people about the future of LA. Now that we've lived through this, what's next? Will it be better, the worse, or the same? Back to you in the studio.
Okay, Gail, thank you very much for that. Still to come. From poets to presidents, KTLA has brought you some of the nation's biggest names.
We're going to take a look back at some of the most memorable interviews just a little later. Don't go away. We're back in a moment with your Anchor Challenge, but wait.
We went retro while we were talking.
We're going to listen to Prince, When Doves Cry, from Cher Calvin's playlist as we go retro to the break.
She's never satisfied. Why do we scream at each other? This is what it sounds like when doves cry.
Blair, I saw you with Chuck.
Wednesday, no one knows how to give thanks.
Tell me you didn't sleep with Chuck for revenge. Are you jealous?
Like the Upper East Side.
Nothing hurts more than sleeping with a best friend, right, S?
And you won't believe what they're serving up for dessert.
Dad, please wake up. What are you guys doing? Way to prove a point. Well, I learned it from the master.
Gossip Girl.
Wednesday at 9 on KTLA The CW. KTLA's 60-hour Retro Marathon is brought to you by Carl's Jr.
The Nova Bar and Restaurant in San Francisco can make you one for $12.50. You can special order one at the Landmark Restaurant in New York for $21. And the Backyard Restaurant in LA can make you one for $18 if you call in advance. And now Carl's Jr. has one for about $5. The first Portobello Mushroom Burger at a fast food place. The Portobello Mushroom $6 burger with Angus beef, only at Carl's Jr.
Golden Compass. Rated PG-13. Starts December 7th, only in theaters.
When Dodge unveils the most exciting sales event of the year, we want everyone to know about it. Announcing the Dodge event of a lifetime, where you can get our best in the business lifetime powertrain warranty on Ram, part of the longest lasting line of full-size pickups. Get 0% financing or up to $6,250 total cash allowance on a 2008 Dodge Ram. Hurry to your Dodge dealer. This event ends soon.
Now I can get fresh herbs all year round with the Gourmet Chia Herb Garden. It contains everything you need to grow fresh herbs right in your own kitchen. And with the patented Chia growing sponge, you don't have to bother with messy potting soil. Just place a moistened Chia sponge in each clay pot, sprinkle on the herb seeds, water, and watch it grow. It's fresh herbs that make the difference in my cooking. And with the Gourmet Chia Herb Garden, fresh herbs are always at my fingertips. I bought one for my mother, my friend, and myself.
Available at Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, and Kmart.
Our state faces serious budget deficits, but the new gaming agreements with 4 Southern California Indian tribes will help. The tribes will pay a much higher percentage of their gaming revenues to the state, providing more than $9 billion to help balance the state budget and fund vital public services statewide. Without these agreements, billions of dollars would disappear from the state budget, and our state would get nothing. It's a clear choice. Support the Indian Gaming Revenue Agreements.
All right, it is time for the morning show anchor challenge. Joining us on the telephone is Joy Duncan from Santa Ana. Good morning, Joy. How are you?
Well, great. Good morning to you, Mark.
All right.
Joy.
How was your Thanksgiving?
Hello, everybody. I watch your show every morning.
Oh, that's terrific, Joy. Thanks. Joy, thank you very much. How was your Thanksgiving weekend?
It was great. It was wonderful. I had everybody over at my house for Thanksgiving.
Joy, do you ever get annoyed with your parents for naming you Joy? I mean, that's such a hard thing to live up to. What happens when you're cranky?
Yes, I don't live up to my name. My mother named me, her name is Joy, so.
There you go. All right. Made no sense to me, but I'll stick with it. The winner of today's anchor challenge, if it is you, Joy, well, you're the only one playing, so you either win or not.
Should be you.
But it should be you, because if somebody else wins, this is just a travesty of injustice. You will win a trip to Las Vegas. Getaway for 2. Your prize includes round-trip airfare and a 2-night stay at the Rio All-Suite Hotel and Casino, as well as 2 tickets to see Penn and Teller live at the Rio. Great prize, courtesy of Penn and Teller and KTLA. Are you ready, Joy?
Absolutely.
Okay, here you go. Joy, here's the question. Today, KTLA is taking a look back at 60 years of broadcasting. Which statement below is not true about KTLA? A, has won an Academy Award. The station has won an Academy Award. B, was briefly owned by Jack Warner. C, was once home to the Paramount Television Network. Or D, has aired Lakers, Clippers, Dodgers, and Angels games. One of those statements is not true. You can pick either Michaela Pereira, Frank Buckley, or Sam Rubin. Those are the anchors. Pick one and challenge them, Joy.
Wow, I'll take Sam.
All right, I believe the question master trying to trick us again. Let's pop it up. KTLA has, in fact, won an Academy Award.
Yes. I didn't know.
We air all the sports teams.
Yes, we have.
The Paramount Television Network never came to fruition. UPN was supposed to be the Paramount Television Network, but it wasn't. So,
we were owned by Jack Warner?
This is the former Warner Brothers lot.
Yeah, and his office is still up there. He had this gold bathroom.
I kind of think we were. I'm going to say, Joy, that it is C, and I'm hoping that I'm right, and I'm like 73% sure.
She needs to go to Vegas, Sam.
I know, it's a really good prize. I think it's C.
Wow.
Okay, Joy, kind of tough, but now, Joy, it's up to you. Either you agree or disagree. Oh, I want to send you to Vegas, Joy.
Joy, which search engine are you using? Yahoo?
Yeah. You need high-speed internet, Joy. You're using the old dial-up, huh? No.
Right.
Joy, what do you say? Do you agree or disagree with Sam? Sam says it's the answer is C, was once home of the Paramount Television Network. He says that is not true. Do you agree or disagree, Joy?
I'm going to agree with Sam.
Good. All right.
All right.
I think it'll be fine.
Let's keep our fingers crossed. We'd love to send Joy to Vegas. Is it C? Is it?
No!
Oh, Joy.
Oh, no. Oh, Joy. Hey, I'm really sorry. And question master, when were we owned, but when were we part of the Paramount Television Network? In the 40s. Oh, my God.
In the 40s.
Oh, wow.
Joy, we
sorry.
apologize. Please keep watching because we love you.
I'll keep watching you guys anyway.
Sorry,
Thank you very much, Joy.
Oh, nuts. Good question, Mr. Question Man.
Oh, nuts.
KTLA's 60-hour Retro Marathon is brought to you by SoCalChevy.com.
This Thanksgiving season, everything changes. The Chevy Red Tag event is blowing into town. Now get 0% financing for 60 months for well-qualified buyers on every 07 Chevy pickup while supplies last. 0% financing on pickups like Silverado Crew Cab, which comes with the safety and security of OnStar standard for 1 year. That's $5,805 in average finance savings for all 07 Silverado pickups.
This winter, stay away from the woods. Timber Falls goes for maximum dread. And the chills come thick and fast. Timber Falls. Rated R. Coming soon to theaters everywhere. Check local listings.
You're sitting on the couch, you're watching TV, and your life is passing you by. You keep procrastinating over and over. Well, maybe I'll go to school next year, maybe next semester. No, do it right now. They'll work with you after work, or you can go before work. You can do whatever you need to do to graduate. Go talk to somebody right now. They out to help you. You spend all day on the phone anyhow. Why don't you make a phone call that's gonna help you in your future? All you gotta do is pick up the phone and make the call. Why are you making it complicated? It's easy.
I need another horse.
You ever been to Horsemax?
Nope.
Come on, I'll show you around. See, at Horsemax, we'll buy you a horse whether you buy one of ours or not. Even if she ain't in good shape. See that filly there? We'd never sell you that horse. You know why? It ain't right on the inside. We even got a money-back guarantee.
Huh. It's amazing no one's thought of this before.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Lou Parker in the KTLA newsroom. Here's a look at the top stories making news at this hour. Washington Redskins safety Sean Taylor is in critical condition this morning after being shot. It happened about 1:30 this morning at his home in Miami. Police say it could have been a robbery or possibly a burglary. There have been no arrests. And back here at home, the Corral fire in Malibu is 90% contained this morning. 53 homes were destroyed. Officials say it may have been started by a campfire. And President Bush will meet with Israeli and Palestinian leaders in advance of a Mideast peace summit in Washington. 16 Arab nations will attend tomorrow, including Syria and Saudi Arabia. That's it for now. I'm Lou Parker. We hope you stick around with us because we're getting ready for the 9 a.m. hour of the KTLA Morning Show with our guests, Chris Knight and Adrian Curry. We'll be right back.